Welcome, everyone, to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, live on air on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO. We've got live HD video for you on mybasin.com. I'm Josh Eldridge, joined, of course, by Brian Gailey of the Klamath Sports Network and my good friend Rick Reuter running the camera tonight. Glad to be from Klamath Union High School tonight, bringing you senior night for the Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights. Klamath Union entering the final game of the season with a 1-3 overall record. They are 1-1 in Skyline Conference play. For the North Valley Knights, they're 1-2 overall on the season and 1-1 in Skyline Conference play. And the North Valley Knights they had the early part of their season put on hold due to COVID. This was originally supposed to be a week 1 matchup, and now here in the culminating week, finally, the North Valley Knights able to make the trip over the hill to come to Modoc Field on senior night to finally play the Pelicans. And last week for Klamath Union, they did miss 1 week. It was against It was against Henley. They missed that 1 week, but Brian, last week they were able to play Mazama, which I think is the consensus best team in the state rankings-wise, and a good opponent there, maybe a lesser opponent in North Valley. What did you see last week from Mazama from Klamath Union that might translate well into this North Valley game?
Well, last week we talked about it at the end of the game that KU played with a lot of heart, and that is the main thing that I think is working for KU is they came in strong against the defense and the offensive line of Mazama. And they stepped up, and that's what's kind of nice, and that really prepped them here for tonight against the Knights. On paper, these teams look very, very even. I expect a very even matchup here tonight. The team that's able to adjust against the other first may become the victor here tonight, and it could come right down to turnovers as well.
Yeah, I think Klamath Union last week against Mazama, again, a very strong team, a great team up front. Klamath Union did a great job of not letting too many guys get in the backfield and take down Silas Dutra, who will be our starting quarterback tonight for the Klamath Union Pelicans. And I think this game, again, just a lot like last week, is going to be won in the trenches if it's won by Klamath Union, and probably in the secondary if by North Valley, because they've got that quarterback and they got a good running back and are able to ground and pound just like Klamath Union is. So again, very evenly matched teams, and again, I think it could come down to a final possession. I expect to see a low scoring game because both defenses are adequate, and very excited for this one. Yeah,
it's going to be a really great matchup. As you said, Dutra didn't really get knocked down a whole lot last week, but he was pressured and hurried along quite a bit. That could actually work to his tonight. If he's got that pressure, then he's got that experience from last week to help him out as well.
Well, they are celebrating senior night tonight at Klamath Union High School. We will honor the seniors in our own way tonight later on the broadcast. And, of course, after that, it is time for football tonight from Modoc Field. Coming up in just a few minutes, you're going to hear from head coach Tom Smith of the Klamath Union Pelicans. We're going to go down our Skyline Conference standings after that. And then, of course, kickoff. You got us live on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO with live HD video on mybasin.com. Leave it here.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Thanks, kiddo.
Give everyone peace of mind on the road. Swing by or book online. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
If you're trying to lose some weight and get in shape, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club is the best place to do it. Harbor has state-of-the-art equipment, plus certified personal trainers to help you achieve your goals safely and quickly. They also have indoor tennis and pickleball courts, and tons of group exercise classes to help you have fun while you get in shape. When you're done with your workout, stop by their smoothie bar to get a nutritious boost. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
It's tax time, and Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls will help you make the most of your refund. Double down! Bring us your tax refund, and we'll double it to use towards your down payment on your new vehicle purchase. And right now, choose from more new trucks and SUVs than ever, and available 0% APR financing for up to 72 months. If you live here, you get it! Double your down payment during Ram Truck Month, only at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to 1150 and 92.9 KAGO. We've got live HD video on mybasin.com. I'm Josh Eldridge. Of course, joining me tonight is Brian Gailey, and on the live stream tonight is my good friend Rick Reuter. We're sitting down now with Coach Tom Smith of the Klamath Union Pelicans, ahead of his senior night. And, Coach, as we get ready for tonight's game, you know, we're this far into the season, heading into the last game. What would you say that your team's strongest point is? Where do you feel real confident about your team's success this season?
I think they're great at bouncing back, you know, so I think you're going to see that they're going to come out and they're just going to start pounding away. And, you know, going against North Valley, we're really not sure what defense they're going to run. We've seen 3 films, and all 3 films they ran 3 different defenses. So we really had to play the preparation card and really draw on everything the kids have been learning all year into this one game. It's not like we've seen this before. So we won't know until the first play, and then we'll know what defense they're running, and then, you know, what offense they show up in. So, you know, I think our guys, really our strength is, you know, we can bounce back if we do it.
Coach, we're going to talk about last week for a second. You went up against Mazama, and, you know, frankly, just a good football team over there. There's no real 2 ways to put it. What did you see from Mazama and your team, one of only 2 teams so far this season to put up any points against the Vikings? What did you see from those guys?
It's kind of, you watch the score, and it was horrendous right out of the chutes. And again, it was a lot of, you know, should they have beaten us? Yeah, they're a good team. They're better than us, but it shouldn't have been that ugly. And I thought, you know, right out of the chute, there were some huge things that we did, some fumbles, some picks, some flags that were thrown that just really gave them the momentum that we just couldn't get back. And you know, I think they did a good job of capitalizing on, you know, our mistakes right out of the bat. But, you know, on the sideline, the guys, they went hard. They didn't care what the score was. They got out there. We had good plays. We were able to move the ball here and there on them. And the guys got excited about that stuff. So it wasn't, you know, I've coached teams in the past, and they're devastated at the end. They were devastated, but they were quick to realize some of the great things that they did. And we actually stayed in that post-game huddle where we sit around with each other, and the guys were just talking about, hey, you remember this, and they're bringing up great things that they had done. So, you know, my hat's off to them for recognizing the good things they did despite the miserable performance and parts of the game.
I'm joined now by Coach Tom Smith of the Klamath Union Pelicans. We are getting ready for kickoff against the North Valley Knights. That comes up at 7 o'clock. Just catching up right now. Coach, it is senior night tonight. You're losing a number of guys. Tell me what they have meant to your program over these last 4 years.
Well, you know, every one of them. You know, Jonas is a transfer from Germany, and the kids have really fallen in love with him. And he's just a good guy. You know, we're losing Zeke and Caden. And, you know, great leaders, great examples, not just on the football field, but in the classroom, and, you know, the importance of school. And, you know, there's Alan has always been a mainstay, and he's just one of those hard-working guys that you love having around. And then, you know, the 3 that, you know, selfishly I'm probably going to miss the most is Donnie, Dawson, and Carson. Those 3 have been just the 3 stooges from from grade school on up, and they're always at my house, and, you know, so it's going to be a tough one for me this year to lose them, especially, you know, my oldest son it's been fun coaching him the last 5 years, and now this is, you know, the last game I get to be his coach, and he and I have had some sit-down talks about that and how much we've enjoyed that time together. But, you know, this one means a little bit more to me because my son is, you know, graduating, he's moving on.
I'm joined by Coach Smith of the Klamath Union Pelicans. Coach, we are getting ready for North Valley tonight. The Knights have, they've struggled a little bit this season. You've also mentioned that you don't really know what to expect from them on the defensive end. Their defense, of course, I'm talking about. But, you know, you got to have a plan, of course, on offense. What's your game plan coming into tonight against these Knights?
You know, we've always wanted to go balanced. You know, we want to be able to pass and run. But of course, if something's working better than the other, we're not going to shy away from it. We're going to go until you shut that down. So, and I think Coach Andrade has done a great job putting together a really good offense this year, and it's really evolved over the last couple of years. And I think the kids really like it. There's a lot of fun that's involved in it. So, as far as tonight, I'm hoping to have it pretty balanced, but we're going to go with whatever works. So if it's a run game, we're going to pound you. If it's a pass game, then we're going to throw the ball. So
that's Coach Tom Smith of the Klamath Union Pelicans. Again, thanks, Coach. We are getting ready for kickoff here coming up in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that live on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO with live HD video coming up on mybasin.com. Kickoff is next.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
We welcome you back to Modoc Field, the site of tonight's Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union, Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty, Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls, and by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Tonight's matchup between the Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights. Klamath Union comes into play this evening with a 1-3 overall record and 1-1 in league play. They find themselves placed fourth in the Skyline Conference. As we go down that list, Mazama, who is one of the consensus best teams in the state, 5-0 overall. They are atop the Skyline Conference. Henley is 2-1. They're right behind them, and following the Hornets is North Valley. These Knights are 1-2 in league. 1-2 overall, 1-1 in league play. And Klamath Union follows the North Valley Knights with a 1-1 league record, 1-3 overall this season. And the Phoenix Pirates round out the Skyline Conference, 0-5 overall and 0-3 in league play. As a matter of fact, Klamath Union's one win coming against those Phoenix Pirates earlier on in the season. As we take a look around the area, specifically the Skyline Conference, we'll get to some of the other games going on. But first, what's happening tonight is Phoenix hosts Douglas. Henley is on the road at Crook County. And Brian, as we take a look ahead tomorrow for Mazama, they're playing Marist in a sort of unofficial state championship game, but it is being recognized as a state championship game. You've had the privilege to cover Mazama, your boys on the team. We could take a minute to look at Mazama tomorrow. What do you expect to see from those Vikings for our Viking faithful listening tonight?
The Vikings have had a very awesome year this whole year, going undefeated. They went up to Thurston and won on a last-second field goal up there, defeating the back-to-back 5A state champion Thurston Colts. I expect to see a lot more of the same from Mazama, but I also expect to see them open up the playbook just a little bit, maybe bring some stuff we haven't seen yet this year to give Marist an opportunity to not be able to scout some film on them.
Well, perfect. I'm excited for that one, but of course we've got Klamath Union and North Valley to worry about tonight. Klamath Union won the coin toss. They chose to defer, where North Valley has chosen to receive the football as we start the first quarter coming up in just a few seconds. When we come back, it's time for kickoff from Modoc Field on senior night. Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights up next on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO with HD video on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 92.9 KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com. I'm Josh Eldridge, joined by Brian Gailey and Rick Reuter tonight, running the live stream as we are just about ready for kickoff tonight between the Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights. Klamath Union is going to kick off. Pablo Macias does the honor. He kicks it off to about the 20-yard line. It's taken in by North Valley number 21, Chris Courier. Again, he took it at about the 20, got up to about the 27-yard line, and that's where North Valley will take over to start this contest tonight. About 11:50 to go. Again, still scoreless here in the first quarter as the Pelican defense trots out onto the field for the first time. And, Brian, you saw this Pelican defense for the first time last week. They did give up 60 points to Mazama, but I think that was more or less just a couple big plays here and there. But for most of the game, I think in the trenches they hung tough with the Vikings.
You know, they did it, and both lines were incredibly strong last week, and it was great to see that kind of performance out of the Pelicans. Hopefully they're going to do that again against the Knights tonight.
Starting quarterback for the North Valley Knights is going to be 6'3", Jaden Twiddell. He is under center, again, from about the 27-yard line as the Knights drive from right to left across your screen. The handoff goes for no gain for the Knights as they come out tonight on the road. They've got their maroon helmets, their white jerseys with red numbering, yellow trim, the golden trim, and the sort of maroon armbands with golden pants. Klamath Union coming out in their all reds, their red helmet, their red jerseys, white numbering and trim, and their red pants. As with 11:22 to go, it is 2nd and 10 in the first quarter. North Valley still taking this one. Twiddell is in the gun. He's got a man in motion. It is going to be handed off to the near side. Taking that one was number 21 again. Gets about a 9-yard gain on the play, maybe 10. I think that's going to be a first down for the North Valley Knights, and carrying that one was Chris Courier for the Knights.
Yeah, Courier had a little bit of hesitation on that as he waited for his hole to open up, and as it did, it never showed. The Pelicans were right there to swallow him up.
First down for North Valley. That is the first down for either team tonight as we are just getting started from Modoc Field. It's nice, about 58 degrees. Should be a little bit under 50 by about 8 o'clock tonight. All right, 1st and 10 for North Valley. Twiddell takes the snap under center. He hands it off to Courier again, this time swallowed up by the big boys up front for Klamath Union. That'll go down as a loss of about 1.5 yards, 2nd and 11 for North Valley.
Yeah, no gain for the sophomore Courier out of that, the play there.
10:42 and counting in the first quarter. Still scoreless between Klamath Union and North Valley. Glad that you are with us tonight for senior night for the Pelicans. They are graduating 10 seniors that we will honor a little bit later on in the broadcast. North Valley has come over with 2 seniors on their roster. Twiddell for the Knights. He is under center. He puts Courier in motion. This time a handoff to the fullback. Gets caught up on a lineman. I believe that would have been Mark Sharpen.
I think that was 22, Hank Dumas, sophomore running back for the Knights. Maybe got his foot stepped on by one of his own linemen.
You mentioned the sophomore for the Knights. We mentioned a couple sophomores. They are a very young team this evening.
They are a very young team. Only 2 seniors, 9 juniors, but 15 sophomores on this team for the Knights and 9 freshmen.
Absolutely. They will be a force in years to come. This time they face a 3rd and 11. Twiddell is in the gun. He's got a running back next to him, this time sending Courier in motion. He fakes the handoff. He rolls out to his left, unfurls one downfield. It is caught on the other side of midfield at about the 40. Bringing that one in was Brady Huff, a sophomore tight end. That is a first down and a gain of about 25 yards on the play for North Valley.
Yeah, they're going to place him at the 36-yard line with a couple yards to gain. Did catch that about the 40. It's a little bit of yards after the catch, but the Pelicans were right there to keep him from going to the end zone.
First and 10 as North Valley driving toward the north goal tonight. They take it from the 36-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:22 to go in a scoreless ball game. Twiddell, he's got 2 wide receivers set out to the near side. He takes it. He looks to the near side and overthrows his man. The intended target, Jenkins, falls incomplete. 2nd down.
Yeah, Jenkins, another sophomore for this young team here for the Knights.
This will bring up 2nd down for North Valley. Deciding what play to run here is the 6'3" Twiddell has completed 1 pass. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Again, that 25-yard reception went big. It was kind of thrown into double coverage, too. That's just a great connection.
He really threw that ball right into where it needed to be, right off the hands of his receiver.
2nd and 10 for the Knights. They are packing the line of scrimmage. Twiddell is under center. Putting a man in motion. It is a pitch to the near side to Jenkins. He's trying to find room up the near sideline. Cuts back. Gets around one guy before getting back to the original line of scrimmage. In on the tackle for North Valley was Nate Getman.
Yeah, Jenkins was able to go nowhere on that play. No gain, brings up 3rd down.
North Valley tonight, they are 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversions so far. Their last conversion coming on the big 25-yard connection through the air.
Ball remains on a 36, 3rd and 10 for these Knights.
Looks like the same kind of formation coming out for North Valley, although one wide receiver on the far side, that's off to Twiddell's right. He puts a man in motion, that's Mercino. Twiddell takes the snap. He rolls out to his right. He hits Mercino. He gets up the far sideline, cuts up, gets a 1st down, and then some. That's about a gain of 14 on the play. They're marking it down inside the 20, call it the 19. That's a 1st down for the North Valley Knights.
That was a wonderful play by the Knights, putting Mercino there in motion and then pitching him out to the flat there was Twiddell.
3rd 1st down of this drive for North Valley. This will be the 8th play of the drive coming up. Another conversion for North Valley as well. They are 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 1st and 10, Twiddell under center. This time it's handed off to the fullback up the middle. A short gain of about 2 yards. And carrying that one was Dumas.
I'm not sure where they were designed that play to go because the defensive line there, the Pelicans, were all over that. They sniffed that play out immediately.
2nd and 8 coming up for the Knights. As they take this one from the 18-yard line, deep into Klamath Union territory now. This drive has gone very well for the Knights, looking to convert some points here. One wide receiver set out to the near side for North Valley. That's Sharpen. It is a pitch in the backfield. And coming up the near sideline, breaking one tackle before being swarmed by Pelicans was Jenkins. That'll be a big tackle for loss, about 5 yards backwards on that play, bringing up 3rd and long.
Yeah, Jenkins was just never able to turn the corner. The Pelicans were right there on top of him.
North Valley faces yet another 3rd down this drive, though this one is by far the longest. The yard to gain is the 10. They are snapping this one from the 24-yard line, so call it 3rd and 14. They did convert a 3rd and 11 earlier this drive.
Both 3rd and downs came on passing plays, so it would be interesting to see if they throw out another one here.
Same formation as last play for North Valley. Twiddell, though, this time in the gun. He's not under center. It looked like maybe a false start, no flag down. Twiddell takes a snap. He rolls out to his right side. The pass is completed, but not good enough for a 1st down. It was a gain of about 10 on the play. The connection made with Dumas. Again, a gain of 10, but still not good enough for a 1st down. That'll bring up 4th for North Valley.
Yeah, it comes up a little bit short. Only got about a little over half of what he needed for a 1st down on that. Yard to gain was 10. They're placing the ball at about the 18. Maybe the 17, looks like.
See if North Valley decides to bring out the field goal unit. We saw, I believe it was number 9, Campos, kicking field goals before the game for North Valley. He had a bit of a boot on him.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, they're going to go out for 4th down here.
Putting a man in motion is North Valley. Twiddell under center. They've got one wide receiver to the near side, and it looks like this is going to be a timeout for North Valley. We're going to stick with you through this one as North Valley, Brian, they have started this game strong.
North Valley is looking good out there against that Pelican defense, but the line of the Pelicans is holding the running game to almost nothing here for the Knights. It's all been passing. It's all been on the arms of Twiddell so far.
And so far, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it is just about what I said. If this game is going to be won by Klamath Union, it's going to be won in the trenches. I'm sure North Valley don't have the stats in front of me, but they probably have negative rushing yards, but they're positive through the air, which is exactly what I had anticipated for this North Valley Knights team, and they are executing it well.
They are. In your pregame, Coach Smith talked about wanting to be a well-rounded and balanced team, making adjustments when necessary. I'm interested to know, and of course he's not going to share his game plan with us, but it'd be interesting to know if he was planning on loading the box here on running against the stopping the rushing of the Knights and letting his corners do their job as well.
That's what we've seen so far for Klamath Union as both teams back out onto the field now. It is 4th and about 6 to go. North Valley snapping this one from the Klamath Union 17. Twiddell, he's back there with one running back, sends a man in motion. Twiddell takes a snap. He rolls out to his left. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. He unleashes. It is complete for a North Valley touchdown in the near end zone. Jalen Jenkins making that catch, no flags down. That will be a touchdown for North Valley.
That was a crossing route. Great pass there by Twiddell, hitting Jenkins in stride. Unfortunately, the defender, I didn't catch his number, but the defender did slip on that, and Jenkins was able to get in easily.
And Jenkins, I mean, it maybe wasn't a slip as much as Jenkins shed him off. That was a good offensive play by him. It was.
We were talking about just a few minutes ago about their kicking squad here with the Knights. They were booting it for 35 yards and still had plenty of room to spare. They were kicking it on the far side of the cart out there, so another 10 at least. It'd be interesting to see if it comes down to that.
Out to kick for North Valley. It was no good. Wide left. Missing the kick for them was Joey Comeyford. The score is 6-0 North Valley with 5:49 left to go in the first quarter. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back. It'll be Klamath Union football when we return. You got us on air on 1150 and 92.9 FM with live HD video on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week. 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com. North Valley, last time out, capping off an 11-play, 6-minute drive with an 18-yard Jenkins touchdown. They lead 6-0. The Klamath Union offense is going to have their first opportunity out on the field here in just a minute as North Valley is set to kick things off. The kick goes out to about the 27-yard line. Zumwalt takes it. He brings it up to the 35, maybe the 36 before being brought down. That's where KU will start this possession. Call it the 37-yard line.
It was Alex Maricino for the Knights to wrap up the Pelican there on that return.
And as Klamath Union comes out onto the field in offense for their first time tonight, a little bit of a different formation on senior night. They're running a senior wishbone. Most of the seniors out there starting right now, Coach Smith said this is going to be the game plan, at least for the first drive tonight. Caden Coulter, as a matter of fact, is starting as quarterback. He's going to hand it off to the near side, spinning around one defender before being brought down, a gain of 5 on the play. That was handed off to Kane Holmgren, a 5'11 senior, 185 pounds. He gets the game started for Klamath Union.
I think it's fantastic that Coach Smith was giving his seniors a little bit of love here on this first drive.
Absolutely, and again, 10 of them graduating tonight. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. But the senior wishbone pretty much consists of one wide receiver wide out to either side. You've got Caden Coulter, the quarterback, with 3 backs in the backfield. This will be second down. This time handed off to Zeke Pena. He gets a block. He's going up the far side. He is wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 1. He got around one defender, and someone tied up his shoelaces. He got caught and stuck in the mud. That'll be third and about 5 to go. Caden Coulter coming back out onto the field. Coach Smith, he likes to trot the play back out there. Just give it to his quarterback. Gives his guys time to rest. It keeps them in rhythm. As it looks like coming out to the near side is Jonas Lemire, a German exchange student and a senior for KU. He's the near side. Coulter takes the snap. He looks over to the near side, and that one slips out of his hands nowhere near Zeke Pena, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just wide of the mark and nowhere close to where Pena was going to end up.
KU 0 for 1 on third down conversions after that one. They likely will bring out the punting unit, and Pablo Macias will be punting for the KU Pelicans, and back to receive for North Valley. Oh, goodness, can't see the number, but we will definitely tell you when we know. 4.5 to go in the first quarter. North Valley leads 6-0.
I believe that is the quarterback Twiddell out there to catch the receiving kick here.
Interesting strategy as Pablo, he gets the punt up. That is a boom of a punt. And Twiddell lets that slip through his fingers at the 15. I don't know if he touched it or not, but he lets it roll out to the 2. He definitely touched it. He's down at the 3. Pablo Macias from about the 42-yard line on the other side of midfield. That is about a 58-yard punt.
It's a beautiful punt. It did look like Twiddell signaled for a fair catch, but was not able to bring the ball down.
So North Valley takes over with 4:28 left to go in the first quarter. They lead 6-0. They take over from their own 4-yard line. That is where we are officially marking it as North Valley begins their second drive of the night. Last time out for the Knights, it was an 11-play drive, lasted 6 minutes, and they converted for 6 points. Again, 4:28 to go in the first, 6-0 North Valley. It looks like Twiddell is going to take this one from under center. He's got one wide receiver set out to the near side. Twiddell, this time it is handed off. A nice gain of about 7 yards for Leo Friedman.
Leo's actually a freshman here on this varsity squad for the Knights. Like we said earlier, it's a very young team, 2 seniors, and Friedman is one of the 9 freshmen on this varsity squad.
Good to see him get reps, and hoping, for North Valley's sake that they continue to build that program. They actually beat Klamath Union last year 29-26, so we know these teams now are evenly matched. 3:56 left to go in the first quarter. North Valley leads 6-0. It's second and about 2 to go for the Knights. It looks like a QB sneak coming out for Twiddell, and maybe just short of the mark. North Valley will do that from time to time. They like to run it up the middle with Twiddell and keep it for him, and they are giving him the first down. Looked a little bit short, but that will be a first down for North Valley.
It would have to depend on where the ball was spotted when his knee came down, but from our angle, it did look like he was about a half yard short on that.
1st and 10 for North Valley. The yard to gain is the 24-yard line.
Yeah, so far the Knights are looking strong, even though they're deep in their end zone here, or deep in their side right now.
Twiddell in the gun. He sends a man in motion, and false start looks like coming out against North Valley. This should bring him back as we look to our white cap tonight, David Van Horn.
Yeah, it looked like their legal motion there got him off sides, but about 4 guys jumped on that play all at the same time.
Well, that's just a case of not being on the same page. I don't think that's a case of someone jumping. That's just missed the hard count. 3:24 to go in the first quarter. 6-0. North Valley leads the Klamath Union Pelicans. As a little bit of a switch of offensive personnel coming out for the Knights.
So they are marking at 1st and 15. The Pelicans could really need a good defensive stop here, and with a punt could put them in a good field position.
Absolutely. Twiddell puts a man in motion. This is a handoff. No, Twiddell actually kept it in the end zone. He hurls it downfield. It took him quite a ways to find room. It will fall incomplete.
We do have a flag on the field from Van Horn.
And it is in the backfield by where Twiddell was scrambling.
Let's see what the call is.
It's against North Valley. I'm not quite sure what the signal was. I don't have my card in front of me.
Yeah, I don't see that signal too often. I'm not sure which one it is either, but they are going to call it against the Knights.
So this is coming backwards. Again, it was thrown in the backfield right around where Twiddell was scrambling. And with 2:54 left to go in the first quarter, the Knights lead 6-0. As a matter of fact, they are not going backwards. It'll still be second and about 15 to go. Twiddell is under center. One wide receiver set out to the near side. He's also got a man in the backfield who ends up taking the handoff. Coming up the far side was Leo Friedman. He is met by a flock of Pelicans at about the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, it brings them back to about the original line of scrimmage here for the Knights. 3rd down and 10. Or a long 9.
3rd and a long 9. That's what we'll call it for the Knights so far tonight. 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. All of those coming on that first drive earlier in the game. And Klamath Union tonight has done a good job of keeping North Valley behind the sticks until 3rd down. And North Valley, again, 2 for 3 converting on that 3rd down tonight. Klamath Union looking to really stand tough on this 3rd down attempt.
They've been throwing on 3rd down for the Knights. It'll be interesting to see if the Pelicans' secondary can keep up.
And a timeout called for Klamath Union. We are going to stick with you through this one. And, Brian, it's exactly like you said. It looks like North Valley is getting ready to throw the football, and I think that might be why Coach Tom Smith is calling the timeout, wants to get the right personnel on the field and gear his boys up for what's coming.
Yeah, they did look like they were trying to stack the box again for a run. They only had the one lone safety with the corners in the backfield.
And for North Valley, I mean, they haven't been running a lot of deep passes, but these check down passes that Twiddell is hitting, I mean, that's just good quarterback play. And a 6'3" kid, he's still got a couple years in front of him. Twiddell is a sophomore. We're seeing good things from him.
Yeah, he's able to look downhill at 6'3". He's able to look over the top of his line and see the option he has out there. He's able to make his reads before picking his target.
It's up to Klamath Union to try to stop these North Valley Knights, and like you said, could be packing the box for Klamath Union to try to stop the run, but I think they definitely have to anticipate the pass as both teams trot back out onto the field. 2:04 left to go in the first quarter. North Valley is in the lead 6-0. It's about third and a long 9 to go. North Valley has got one wide receiver set out to the near side. Other than that, they are packing the box. They put a man in motion. Twiddell takes a snap. He rolls out to his left side. He's being chased. He cuts upfield, but he's hit hard by Zumwalt at the 10. That will go in the books as a sack.
Yeah, that was great coverage, man coverage by the Pelicans. He had nowhere to go. Twiddell scrambled waiting for somebody to come open, but never had anybody come open. That's going to bring up 4th down and likely a punt here from the Knights.
4th down and 15. It would be an odd decision to not punt it as Twiddell does trot off the field. Back to receive for Klamath Union is Ivan Alvarez, a senior, 5'10", 175 pounds, and he will be back to receive for Klamath Union with $1.56 left to go in the first. 6-0. North Valley leads the Pelicans. The punt comes out for North Valley. It's a little bit questionable. It looks like Mercino of North Valley, he touched it at about the 28-yard line, and these coaches, oh my goodness, are they saying this is North Valley football?
He did touch the ball and recovered it after touch.
Right, but would it not be that Klamath Union didn't touch the ball, so when he touches it, it's down?
I would assume so. I don't think it did touch a red player at all.
I don't think it did either. This is atrocious. If well, here we are. They're having a conference at midfield, and Coach Tom Smith is standing at about the numbers on field off the sideline, and he's getting his team off the field. And they are saying it's Klamath Union football. Thank goodness they were able to get that right, because I don't know if I would have been able to hold myself steady.
Yeah, it didn't look at all that it touched any of the red players there on the receiving side. So this is the right call on this. It was downed after contact by a Knight.
So Klamath Union takes over at the North Valley 28-yard line with 1:50 left to go in the first quarter. They trail the North Valley Knights 6-0. It looks like Klamath Union also back in their normal offense. It'll be 1st and 10 for him. Getman in the backfield with Silas Dutra. They put Pablo Macias in motion. It is a fake handoff to Macias, and Silas will keep it. He'll plunge his way up the middle for a gain of 6. And as Silas, the quarterback, gets back out on the field, Brian, you saw it a lot last week. I've seen it all season. Silas loves to keep the football and run it up the middle, and he is pretty good at it.
Yeah, he's got great eyes looking forward at all times, and when he sees that hole, he sees an opportunity, he's scrambling. He's good for 5 or 6 every time.
That's all you can ask for. With 2nd and 4, Silas in the gun. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to either side. Getman is off to his right. This one is a handoff to Nate Getman. He gets through the line. He's hit at about the 7. That'll be a 1st down for Klamath Union. A gain of 15 on the play for Getman.
Great play right up the middle for Getman. He saw that all the way. He was looking end zone on that one. He wanted that 6.
He was. Getman enters play tonight with about 220 rushing yards on the season. That's according to Coach Smith. He's a junior, 5'10", 265 pounds. He's a stocky running back, and he is darn good as he sets up off to the left side of Silas Dutra. 2 wide receivers set out to either side. It is 1st and goal for North Valley, and they get a Knight to jump on the hard count.
Yeah, that should move them ahead 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and goal from about the 5. Inside the 5.
They're going to mark it at the 4-yard line. 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 6-0. North Valley is in the lead tonight. It is snapped. Getman takes the handoff. He dives into the end zone for a Klamath Union touchdown.
That was great. I enjoyed that. I was just sitting back as a spectator on that one, watching Getman take the ball and dive into the end zone. That was pretty awesome.
Getman from about 4 yards out. No flags down. That'll be a touchdown for Klamath Union and out things up at 6. A chance to take the lead with 44 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Knotted up at 6. Out to kick the extra point is Pablo Macias. Holding it still for him is Jameis Dutra. The snap and the kick, it is no good, wide right. So we will stay knotted up at 6 with 44 seconds left to go. Tied up on senior night from Modoc Field, but that was a good drive from Klamath Union.
It was great. The field position really helped them out on that one. They were able to capitalize on the punt by the Knights and take that one into the end zone. About 30 yards on that drive?
28 yards, yeah. And taking about a minute for Klamath Union. Those were quick-hitting plays. Getman definitely showing his worth there for Klamath Union.
Now, Josh, you've been watching the Pelicans all year. How does their special teams look? We expect any trickery here early on?
I don't think so. And even last year from Coach Smith, we don't generally see that too much. He's gonna give the ball back in the first quarter with 44 seconds left to go, and especially in a tie ball game, you don't got to worry about it too much. Both teams are playing to the level that we about expected from them. I think tonight there's been a lot of about 7-yard, 8-yard gains with the occasional big one, and I feel like that's what we expected from these two teams.
I totally agree. This is, like I said early on, this matchup looks fantastic on paper. Unfortunately, the win-loss record isn't where these clubs like to be.
Pablo Macias kicks a ground ball out to the 20-yard line. That one is picked up on the far side. It looked to be from Courier. He gets up to the 40 before being brought down on the far sideline at the 43-yard line. That's where North Valley will start their third drive of the game with 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We are knotted up at 6.
Yeah, that low kick there by the Pelicans gave the Knights an opportunity to go right up the side there. Unfortunately, just one Pelican stood between the receiver there and getting to the end zone again. That could have been 6 the other way.
Well, North Valley takes over first and 10 from about the 44-yard line in their own territory as they drive to the north goal. This one is taken, handed off up the far side from Friedman. He gets himself a little bit of room. He gets a first down, a gain of about 11 on the play as the Knights cross midfield, and yet another first down for him tonight. They're 6th on the evening, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
Yeah, it's looking amazing by both teams here. Now, Twiddell had an interesting play there where he was running a bootleg and faked keeping it and coming back the other direction when Friedman was handed the ball and went into that hole.
Could be setting up a nice play for later as North Valley takes it first and 10. Driving downfield now. This one is a handoff to his near back. Cutting upfield was Courier. He gets about 9 yards on the play. Maybe 10. We'll see if they give him a first down as North Valley moving the ball nicely. Looks like he's just short.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be just short, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter.
The score after 12 minutes, 6-6. We are knotted up from Modoc Field. We'll be right back with the second quarter of action. The Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO. You've got live HD video on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com. Getting the second quarter started tonight between the Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights. We are knotted up at 6. North Valley has got the football. It is second and short. Twiddell, their quarterback, kind of a reverse handoff. This one taken by Courier. He got stopped, moves around a couple defenders, and able to make something out of nothing. A gain of 5 that time for Courier. That was a creative play, and credit to him.
It was a creative play. It almost looked as though it was a mistake, but they were able to pull something out of it. It's hard to know what the play call was, if that was a design misdirection or if Friedman pulled up the wrong side of the quarterback there, but interesting choice there.
It looked to me like it was almost an option play with his first back that came around, and something you just got to work on with blocking. Again, a young team tends to happen, but they turned it into a positive. It is first and 10 for North Valley. This time Twiddell takes it under center. He rolls out to the near side after faking the handoff. He cuts upfield. He gets to the 20 before being brought down. That is a gain of about 16 on the play for Twiddell on the QB keeper.
Yeah, that kind of falls down to, in the first quarter, the handoff that we were talking about, the bootleg. He did that again here, except he kept it and took that bootleg in for a first down.
11:13 left to go in the second quarter. 6-6 the score. North Valley and Klamath Union as the Knights have got the football. Appreciate you being with us tonight in the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week. 1st and 10 for the Knights from the 20-yard line deep into KU territory. They've got one wide receiver set out to the left of Twiddell, back in the backfield. This one is kept by Twiddell on the fake handoff. He is rolling out to his left. He throws one downfield. It is caught inside the 5, but brought down. The reception made. I believe that was Brady Huff again on the reception.
Yeah, we'll have to double-check our numbers. It looks like it was number 5. I'm not seeing a 5 on my sheet. You got one, Josh?
No 5. We confirmed with the coach before the game, so unsure there, but either way, great reception that time by number 5 down on the field for North Valley. They get it 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Twiddell taking this one under center once more. Same formation coming out for North Valley. Twiddell trying to QB sneak it into the end zone, and he is in. A touchdown for North Valley.
Yeah, that QB keeper seems to be kind of a... Oh, what's the words I'm looking for, Josh? It's a nice ace in the hole.
It is. They use it situationally, and it's worked twice for him so far.
It has, and I'm not so sure watching the defense that they knew it was coming or they were expecting it to come.
3-yard Twiddell keeper for the touchdown. North Valley goes up 12-6 with 10:15 left to go in the second quarter. It looks to me like they're trying to go for 2 here to make up for that missed extra point earlier on. So going for the 2-point conversion. A timeout will be called by North Valley. We are going to stick with you through this one. And just like you said, Brian, that QB sneaker has worked twice for North Valley tonight. And when you only need 2 yards, there's not a whole lot that can go wrong.
No, the first time it got him that first down, and now it's got him a score, it put 6 more points on the board. And, now North wants to go and talk this over because, getting 2 here puts them up by a full score. So it's kind of a powerful statement right here.
Yeah, I agree. And, when you miss that extra point earlier, you're only, you score the 2-point here, you go up by 14, exactly like you said. It puts the pressure back on the KU to have to convert 2 as well. And it's a bold strategy coming out by head coach Neil DeForest for North Valley.
The Pelicans still looking and talking it over here on the sidelines. Now they're sending their crew back in. They've been working the short passes really well. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of either misdirection with a crossing route or a rollout with a shot to the corner.
Knights looking to convert 2. Twiddell takes the snap. He's looking to his right. He's rolling to his right. The pass complete into the end zone. Bringing that one in was Jenkins. They convert 2. That brings the score to 14-6. That will send us to a break. 14-6. North Valley leads. 10:09 left to go in the second quarter. You've got the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week with live HD video on mybasin.com.
If you're trying to lose some weight and get in shape, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club is the best place to do it. Harbor has state-of-the-art equipment, plus certified personal trainers to help you achieve your goals safely and quickly. They also have indoor tennis and pickleball courts, and tons of group exercise classes to help you have fun while you get in shape. When you're done with your workout, stop by their smoothie bar to get a nutritious boost. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week. Live HD video on mybasin.com. The score, North Valley 14, Klamath Union 6. As we get ready for North Valley to kick off the football. They do so. It's fielded at about the 12. Bringing it up is, I believe that is number 23. That would be Alvarez. He brings it out to about the 24-yard line. So a decent return. About 10 yards for Alvarez. And KU will take over from the 25-yard line with 10:03 to go in the half. North Valley leads 14-6. Their last drive went 7 plays, about 2.5 minutes, capping it off with a 3-yard Twiddell quarterback keeper that put them in the end zone and then converting 2 on the extra point.
Yeah, the Pelicans on their last possession had really good field position. Now they're backed up to their own 25. We'll see if they're able to capitalize before halftime.
They've got quite a bit of time to do so as they send a man in motion. Pablo Macias is going to take the handoff. He cuts upfield. He breaks through one defender. He's hit again, breaks another tackle. It's a gain of about 6 on the play. And again, just shedding off tackles, but North Valley, the Knights, they're wrapping our guys up low and not letting them move too much, but having trouble taking Pablo Macias down for the second time tonight.
Yeah, as you said earlier, stuck in the mud. That's a very good reference to what's going on here. They're getting them by the shoelaces, and they're keeping their feet from churning, which allows a second defender to come in and put them down for no gain or short gains.
Second and about 4 to go for KU as they drive from right to left across your screen. This one handed off to, I believe, that would be Dawson. He's tackled for a loss of 1 on the play. Pardon me, that was Jameis Dutra, the wide receiver, coming in with the carry. 3rd and 5 for KU coming up.
Yeah, that play started off really well. Unfortunately, it was sniffed out by the defense, not letting Dutra go anywhere on that play at all.
Call it 3rd and 5 to go. The yard to gain is the 35. They're snapping this one from the 30. Klamath Union so far tonight has not had great luck on third down conversions. They are 0 for 1.
Man coverage here by they're dropping back into zone.
Dutra takes a snap. He's rolling out to his left side. He's cutting up. He's got a little bit of blockers. He gets through one defender up past the 40, the 45, the 50. On the other side of midfield, the 45, the 35. There is a flag downfield. And right about where he stepped out of bounds. So this one could be coming back, but still great vision from Silas. And still, again, flag down.
There's actually 2 flags, and another one just got tossed again.
And that was right where Dawson Smith was standing. Unsure if this was, well, I guess we'll find out as the officials conferred about the 50-yard line. 3 flags down on the field. And this is as good a time as ever to tell you about Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when buying, selling, or owning a home. Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. And as I look up, the official looks like he's given some sort of signal. Brian, did you catch what's going on?
It was, again, another signal I'm not familiar with, but it was a fist bump of his own hands.
That'd be helmet to helmet, wouldn't
it? It might be. It's one of those you don't see too often.
Yeah. So as we look down to Van Horn again, it looks like there's offsetting penalties. And they need to call a timeout because the sticks are incorrect entirely.
No, there's 2 penalties against the Pelicans. They're moving them again.
So they moved him forward. They moved him back.
They're counting off 15. They've got a personal foul in there.
A personal foul, I believe, could have come against Dawson Smith. I couldn't quite tell, but it looked like Dawson Smith, one of the big seniors for KU, was walking past an official, and a flag was thrown then. Now, you can't tell for sure, but if I had to guess, that's what probably happened, is KU now takes it, at least, it could be worse, 3rd and 9. So that's just a normal third down conversions after the fact, even though Silas, he ran upfield for a big gain. It was a scramble. Credit to him, but it gets called back.
It does get called back. It was a great gain. Unfortunately, it isn't going to count. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Pelicans here tonight.
And another conference at the football. Again, it's 3rd and 9. The yard to gain is the 35. And KU, the lineman up front, the big seniors, Dawson Smith specifically, he's jumping up and down. He is ready to go. And as are, I'm sure, everyone else in the building. Limited capacity tonight. But everyone is just about ready to go. Still having a conference down at midfield. Again, our white cap tonight, David Van Horn, is talking with one of our other officials. Can't quite tell who it is, but it looks like we might be able to play some football tonight at Modoc Field. And the clock keeps on rolling. 8:30 to go. North Valley leads 14-6. 1st and 10 for Klamath Union. It's a handoff to Nate Getman. He fights forward. No gain on the play. And I guess while I wasn't looking, thank goodness I looked up at the right time. That was first down for KU. It brings up 2nd and 9. And
I didn't catch that first down either, so they called the penalties back but gave them first down.
I think it was offsetting penalties. I'm not quite sure. It would have given KU the first down, or we just decided to redo the whole dang thing because no one knows. And that,
just do the play over again.
Yeah.
So on that one-arm tackle, that was 51 Kodiak Bender. He's a junior defensive lineman there for the Knights. Had the running back there wrapped up with just one arm.
Sending a man in motion, Dutra goes. Silas takes the snap. He dumps off the screen pass to his brother. Pardon me, that's Caden Coulter on the far sideline. He dives forward. I believe he got the first down. Curious to see where they mark him out of bounds. It looks like he got a 12-yard gain on the play for Coulter. That'll be good for a Klamath Union first down. And although they have 6 points, only their second first down of the night. And nope, there is a flag down on the field, right where there's a bunch of bodies holding on Klamath Union. This is coming back.
Yeah, unfortunately, that screen there that got him should have been a first down is going to come back there against the Pelicans. Taking a look here at the sidelines, there, the coach there on the opposite side there for the Knights also has a yellow card. I did see that their plays are on. I did see that fly around, and that caught my attention before the other flag.
I didn't quite see that one. I was looking downfield, couldn't quite see the flag, but right about where all the bodies were, that's where the laundry was. So this one coming back, 2nd and 20 for Klamath Union. This is going backwards, but still 2nd down. KU, a chance to air it out. We'll see what Silas can do as well. He's quick on his feet. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to either side, and Getman in the backfield with him. He puts Zumwalt in motion. Silas, he puts it under his arm. He is sacked at the 10 and did not get hardly any time to throw. In on the tackle for North Valley's big number 77, Owen Farmer.
Yeah, Owen came in there on that blitz, and Silas had nowhere to go. He wrapped him. He actually got him by his shoelaces again.
Yeah, he did. 3rd and very long. They're calling it 25 yards is where KU needs to go on this play. They are, officially 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. So the last time they faced a 3rd down, Silas got upfield for a gain of about 25 yards. It was called back, so we'll see what KU decides to go with here as they trail with 6:50 left to go, 14-6 to the North Valley Knights. 2 wide receivers set out to either side. Getman is off to his right. Silas drops back into the pocket. He unloads one downfield, and it is caught by Coulter on the far sideline. Pardon me, that was Zumwalt. Not good enough for a first down, but still about a 20-yard reception, and that tends to happen when you play that far behind the sticks.
Jonas Lemire was actually the one on that catch. Isn't that the exchange student?
Yeah, Lemire is the exchange student. The team has really rallied around him. He missed the first, I believe, 2 weeks of the season with a high ankle sprain, and now he's back and making a big catch there. However, KU will have to punt. It is 4th and 6 to go, and that'll bring out Macias and the punting unit. It's the 2nd time KU has had to punt so far this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a nice throw and a nice catch, but it was just a bit short of getting that first down.
The snap to Macias. He kicks it off from the 20. That bounces almost directly on the 40-yard line. Zeke Pena gets out there. He's going to let it bounce, and that will be marked down at the 35-yard line. About a 50-yard punt, about a 45-yard punt there for Pablo Macias. He booted a 58-yarder a little bit earlier, so he's got a good punt there.
Yeah, he's got a nice leg on him there for getting that ball down there. Nice high kicks as well, so to get his defenders down there and give him a chance to down that ball.
Absolutely. So North Valley takes over from their own 35-yard line, 6:28 to go in the second quarter. The Knights lead 14-6.
Got a man way on the outside here, 25, almost down on the lines.
And this one is going to be handed off and going nowhere. Big Dawson Smith in on the tackle for KU. That was handed off to Friedman, and a loss of 2 on the play for North Valley.
Yeah, there was no fooling the Pelicans on that one. They knew exactly where they wanted to go.
And that's what KU's been doing all game. Their run defense has been indomitable so far, but they just are having trouble stopping the pass.
Yeah, their rush attack is looking great, where they're stopping that run there by the whole anybody.
Yeah.
Unless it's a quarterback sneak, they're able to stop that rush.
And even then, those QB sneaks are only going 2 yards when they need them to. So we'll see what North Valley decides to do here. This is another handoff. A flag is down, but Courier takes on the far sideline. He gets a gain of about 1 on the play, but a flag is down. And curious to see what the call ends up being here.
Yeah, the flag's here on the near side near the 30 marker.
As we await the signal from our white cap tonight. Friedman pretty much went lateral, though, on that play and didn't get very far. His team will be hit with a false start. It is going backwards, so I believe that stays second down. It'll be about 2nd and 15 to go. I'm not quite sure what's going on downfield. 5:43 left to go in the second quarter. North Valley leads 14-6 over Klamath Union. The Pelicans have had great luck stopping the run tonight, and North Valley has had a lot of luck through the air.
So it looks like the penalty was declined, so they're not moving them back, but it's going to send it to 3rd down.
Curious decision by Coach Smith. I've got my own ideas about what he's trying to do here, and it looks like there may have been someone jumping on the line. Twaddell takes the snap. He rolls out to his left. He cuts upfield and out of bounds, and that will bring up 4th for North Valley. Now, as I said, what Coach Smith was doing, I don't know if he's playing some sort of mind games, some World Series of poker type stuff right now, but do you think he kept it that close so that way North Valley would be maybe inclined to run the football again where he could stop it?
That's entirely possible. As good as they are at stopping the run here tonight, wouldn't put it past Coach Smith. As he said in your pregame, it's going to be the adjustments that are going to be key to him.
Absolutely. And 4th and 7, North Valley bringing out the punting team. And although this drive lasted about 6 plays, it'll go in the books as a 3-and-out. The snap is a little bit high. The punt is a bit of a line drive. It is fielded at about the 27. Now bringing it upfield is Alvarez. He gets to the 40. He is finally brought down by about 3 defenders at the 45-yard line. So about a 15-yard return, maybe 17 yards for Alvarez. KU takes over at their own 45 with 5:19 to go. In the second quarter, they trail North Valley 14-6.
Now, another one of those young freshmen on this team here for the Knights was able to wrap up and bring that defender or the run back down. That was Wyatt Hawley, the freshman, getting in on the action.
Klamath Union, the offense is back out onto the field about halfway through the second quarter. 14-6 the score. North Valley leads. Silas Dutra, he takes the snap, drops back into the pocket. He doesn't see anyone. He decides to keep it himself. He cuts upfield, gets past midfield, up past the 45, the 40 before stepping out of bounds. That should be good for a Klamath Union first down. And
that was a very mature decision there by Dutra. He would pump faked out there and realized that his target was not going to be available, but the entire left side of this field was wide open and got him a huge gain for first.
That was about a 16-yard gain for Dutra as KU now takes it 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, driving downfield towards the north goal. And 2 wide receivers set out to either side of Silas. He's also got Getman off to his right. Silas takes the snap. He keeps it himself off the fake handoff to Getman. He cuts up, spins around one defender before being brought down after a gain of about 7 on the play, and another flag is down well after the play is finished. And we're talking 7 seconds.
Yeah, that was a very late flag. That was a great misdirection play there by the Pelicans. Had me fooled. I thought Getman was going up the middle with that one when Dutra pulled it in and took off with it.
Dutra is very good at selling the fake handoff and keeping the ball himself. He's got quick feet. He's mobile, and would have been a gain of 7. We'll see what the call ends up being. It's a personal foul against North Valley. I'm curious as to what happened exactly, but this one goes in favor of KU, so it is moving up.
I didn't quite catch it. It may have been a late hit coming in after the whistle had blown.
It does make sense, as that was a very late flag, so personal foul coming out against the Knights. I believe that's only the 3rd flag called on them this evening. KU has had quite a bit more go against them, but with 4:59 left to go in the second quarter, the Knights lead 14-6. Klamath Union takes it 1st and 10 from the North Valley 15 as they are driving the ball nicely here. Only 2 plays in, but they've gone about 40 yards on this drive.
Yeah, it's looking really good for the Pelicans on this drive.
1st and 10 for KU. 1 wide receiver set out to the near side, 3 to the far side. Silas Dutra keeps it and throws it over the middle. It looks like the intended target was Lemire, but it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I do believe Jenkins got a hand on that to help knock that away for the Knights.
Interesting route run by Lemire. It looked like it was a very short curl route. He tried to come back and was thrown behind him. Lucky that fell incomplete.
Yeah, it was right into double coverage as well. It looked like he had some opportunity on the right side, but his decision was made early.
Two wide receivers set out to either side of Dutra, and off to his right is Getman. He puts Pablo Macias in motion for the sweep, but Silas keeps it himself. He cups up the middle, in for a Klamath Union touchdown.
Great run right up the middle there by Dutra. It was another good misdirection. As you said just a few minutes ago, he is able to sell the fake, and he sold it again. Half the team run into the outside, and he was able to run right up the middle.
16 yards out for Silas Dutra. That is Klamath Union's second touchdown of the night. Dutra, I believe that's his third rushing touchdown of the season. And KU now is forced to try the two-point conversion, just as North Valley did just a few short minutes ago.
We'll see if they can tie it up here.
And this one is kept by Dutra again. He is not into the end zone, so we will stay of a score of 14-12. We'll also stay with you through this short break in the action. And Brian, you brought it up, but Silas, he kept the ball. It was a 4-play drive. I believe he kept it himself on 3 of them.
Yeah, it was looking really good there for Dutra. He made some great decisions. That pump fake down the side, he ran up for 15 yards, got him in great position, and then the foul took him inside the red zone, inside the 15, at which they were able to capitalize. They are still down by 2. Taking a look here, 4:35 remaining in the half, but they're only down by 2. These Pels are looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, their offense has been doing well. They have had to punt the ball twice, but again, when they're able to get things going, and the offense is based off of how Silas is doing, and so far tonight he's played very well. And now it's up to the Pelican defense to try and get a stop. Again, they will get the ball back after halftime, as they deferred after they won the coin toss. North Valley chose to receive. So they will get the ball back. It would be nice to stop North Valley and get something going to end the half and try to get momentum back onto your side, because I don't think either team has clear momentum either way.
No, it's been really easy, even this whole time. No real momentum shift to either team.
Pablo Macias with the kickoff. He kicks a ground ball out to about the 25, and that's where North Valley will fall on it. They take over at their own 25-yard line. 4:33 left to go in the second quarter. 14-12. North Valley is in the lead. And I know you weren't there for it, Brian, but last year North Valley beat KU. I believe it was 29-26. That's what I've got, 29-26. And the end of the first half in that game was 16-14. And not much different right now. These two teams have kind of battled this way the past few seasons.
Yeah, it's great to see this. I'm glad to see this as being a real close game. I'm a big fan of these close games and not the blowouts.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for North Valley. They come out in the same formation they have pretty much all game. Twaddell hands it off to Courier, who gets swallowed up in the backfield. A loss of 4 on the play for North Valley.
Yeah, he was tackled by at least 4 red shirts there, and it's a loss of yards there for the Knights.
And have a second to talk about it. KU, they've been getting it in there. The linemen up front, of course, a couple of them are Coach Tom Smith's kids, his 2 sons, Hayden and Dawson, on the team. And they like to celebrate something called big blocks. I'm sure it goes on the defensive end as well. But when you get through, you decleat a guy, you knock him off his feet. They love that. Most of the stickers on these guys' helmets, that's what they're from. And Coach Smith, he told me they don't care about tackles. They don't care about receptions. What all these guys are looking for is these big blocks.
Yeah, they want to get the big hit.
It is 2nd and 13 for North Valley. Twaddell taking this one in the gun. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to the near side. He is going to keep it himself. There's a flag down. He rolls out to his left side, throws it downfield. It's caught by Courier about 11 yards downfield, but there is a flag pretty much right as the play started. So we'll see what the call is here. Is our Whitecap tonight, Van Horn, is waving his arms. It looks like this one might be coming back. We also have a player down on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I didn't catch the number of the player there, but we do actually have 2 flags on both lines right at the line of scrimmage, so we may have an offensive a penalty here. But
yeah, not quite sure, as everyone has taken a knee down onto the field. There's 3:35 left to go in this second quarter. North Valley just getting started on their about 5th drive of this game. They lead 14-12 over Klamath Union. And so far, again, you said it fairly even for both teams, but it's pretty much what we expected. We expected Klamath Union to win in the trenches, and we expected North Valley to air it out. And so far, both teams have been successful at what they wanted to be going into this game.
Yeah, it's been a great game by both teams, and it's nice to see this player is getting up. He is hobbling a little bit. Looks like he might be taking a look at his knee or his ankle. It appears that might be Chris Courier. He's been a big part of this team for the Knights as the evening has gone on.
Lucky to see that, again, he was hurt on the far sideline, so he was able to get up under a little bit of help, hobbled off to the sideline, but he has taken some steps by himself on the far sideline, so hope to see he's back. Of course, don't want to speculate what the injury is or anything like that. However, there was a penalty against North Valley prior to that play being finished, so it will bring them back. It is looking like it's 2nd and 18 for the North Valley Knights as we get set and back and ready to go into the action this evening.
So 2nd and 18 with the running game not working too well for the Knights. Might be looking for a pass here, another quick throw.
2 wide receiver set out to the near side of Twiddell. He takes the snap. He's rolling out to his right. He's got one man open downfield, but it does fall incomplete. The intended target was Jenkins, but threw it just a bit in front of him.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a little low. Been down by the shoelaces, and even a diving catch probably wouldn't have took that one.
3rd and 18. That brings it up for North Valley. They lead 14-12 over KU with about 3:11 left to go in the second quarter. And North Valley, again, like you said, have had quite a bit of luck through the air tonight. Even on that play where there was a penalty, it was still a completed pass for 11 yards. And with 18 yards to gain, I should say. Likely to see North Valley air it out once more.
I would expect North Valley to air this one out. And if there's a time that KU is looking to make a statement here in this first half, it is on this play right now.
Absolutely. 3rd and 18 for North Valley. Twiddell is in the gun. He puts a man in motion. This was a fake handoff. He falls back into the pocket, throws a floater downfield, and it is incomplete. And the receiver for North Valley, Jenkins, asking for a flag, but surprisingly, we don't get one.
Actually, I do think we have a far side flag there by the line to gain. There was a lot of hands on that play. I didn't see a lot of unusual contact between them, but we may have something else on the far side that's going to work this play.
And, specifically on that play where there might have been pass interference, when there's contact on both sides, which I think there was. You don't really see that.
I think it was both sides.
Yeah. Well, like you said, there was a flag down. It looked to be in the backfield. Curious to see what Mr. Van Horn has to say about this one. 3:05 left to go in the second quarter. And
sideline warning for the Knights.
Oh, so, maybe that was another complaint from that no call, the pass interference. It looked like there might have been, could have gone either way. North Valley didn't like how it went, so their sideline is warned. That brings up 4th down. North Valley likely to punt, and they will have the punting unit back to receive for Klamath Union is number 23, Ivan Alvarez. He's had quite a bit of luck returning punts. He sets up at about the 50-yard line. And for North Valley, the snap coming out. The punt, a bit of a line drive, bounces at about the 50, takes an awkward hop, and will be touched at the 45.
Yeah, it took a KU bounce on that one. They're going to take the ball just inside their side of the field. They're at the 45 and a half or so. Punts from the Knights. They've all been kind of line drive tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, and as much as you don't see them, you don't love to have your punting unit out there, but both punting units have done very well for both teams. Credit to the kickers.
They're doing their job tonight, that is for sure.
Absolutely. Klamath Union takes over from their own 45-yard line with 2:55 to go. They trail by 14-12. That's the score tonight. Again, 2:55 left to go in the quarter. 1st and 10. Klamath Union takes it. They put Pablo Macias in motion. Dutra back there by himself. He throws the screen pass. That one is reined in by Coulter. He cuts upfield. He gets a block. He is brought down after a gain of 9. A nice little screen pass coming out from KU as they try to move the ball downfield and get something going to finish out this half.
It was nice to see him go back to the screen pass. The last time they threw that, they did get a penalty on that, so it's cool to see that they brought it back. They're not afraid to go back to what's working.
Absolutely. It'll be 2nd down along by the markers. It says 3rd down. I believe this is still 2nd down, and it is. They fix it on the far sideline. 2nd and 1 to go for Klamath Union. Dutra back there by himself. He takes it, another screen pass to the near side. This one is caught. It looks like he got enough for a 1st down. Kind of bobbling it there was Antonio Ortiz. Played a little bit of a hot potato, but he's able to get the 1st down, a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky that that ball didn't fall incomplete on a pop coming in from the Knights on that.
Absolutely. That is the 5th 1st down of the night for Klamath Union as opposed to 8 for North Valley. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. The Pelicans, driving downfield. 3 wide receiver set out to the left of Dutra. He looks for another screen pass, but this time throws it downfield. It is incomplete, and that was a great play design from Klamath Union, but just falling incomplete.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got a little bit too much air under that one and underthrew his target, and that was number 6. Pablo Macias having to come back to the ball, and unfortunately was just too far downfield to come back and grab it.
Great play design, though. Curious to see if KU goes back to that. Looked like they faked the screen pass and threw it downfield. Curious to see if they decide to do that again after going to the screen pass 3 plays in a row. It'll be 2nd and 10 for KU. They're set up for it once more. Same formation. And Dutra takes the snap, this time dropping back into the pocket. He has time to throw. He throws it over the middle. It is tipped, almost picked off, but it falls incomplete. 3rd down for the Pels.
It was Caden Coulter, got his hands there, but couldn't bring it in and popped the ball up, and it nearly came down in the gloves of North Valley there on that play. Kind of got lucky on that one that it wasn't picked off.
Absolutely. They'll take a 3rd and 10, will the Pelicans. So far tonight on converting 3rd down, they are 0 for 2. They've been able to get quite a few yards on 3rd down that have been called back. 0 for 2 officially. 3 wide receivers set out to the near side. They're kind of cramped as they take it from the near hash. This Klamath Union, 1 set out to the far side. Dutra drops back into the pocket. He's got all the time in the world to throw. He rolls out to his right side. He's cutting upfield, feels a bit of pressure now. He throws it over the middle, but it falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was Jenkins getting a hand on the ball again. When calling his name once again here tonight, he has been all over the coverage of the receivers here for the Pelicans tonight.
Again, you just said exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. Great coverage for North Valley on that play on all accounts, not just covering. I believe going over the middle there was Coulter. So great coverage that time. And Coach Smith, he told me earlier in the season, past midfield, he doesn't like to punt too much, so staying the offense out there for KU. And with 4th down on the line, it is 4th and 10. 3 wide receivers set out to the far side. Silas Dutra, he drops back into the pocket. He sees room. He had a couple QB spies he might not have seen, but he is brought down. No gain on the play. A turnover on downs.
Yeah, unfortunately, the couple of blocks there that the line was doing there for the Pelicans just slipped right through, and where Dutra was expecting to run between a couple of defenders, they just let go of their blocks and took him down instead.
I will say this for North Valley. I don't know if you ended up catching it, but they had a couple linebackers sneaking back there waiting for that exact play. And 2 guys were ready for it, and North Valley snuffed it out. Turnover on downs. They take over from the 44-yard line in their own territory. 1st and 10, $1:32 left to go in the half. The Knights lead 14-12.
This half is still not over for the Pelicans yet. It's running short on the time, down by 2. They need a quick 3 and out here. They have a chance to put one in the end zone before halftime.
Absolutely. 2 wide receivers set out to the far side for Twiddell. He adds the 3rd one. Twiddell, he's rolling out to his left side. He completes a pass downfield, a gain of 12 on the play, reining that one in. I believe that was Luke Perez. I haven't seen too much of him tonight.
It was either Perez or Jenkins. I couldn't quite tell the numbers on that one, but either way, that was a great catch by the Knights.
It'll be another 1st down for him. So far on the night for North Valley, 9 first downs.
And he was inside of he did not go out of bounds, so the clock's going to continue to run.
Minute 13 left to go in the half. North Valley leads 14-12. 1st and 10 from the 45. The Knights now drive downfield towards the south goal. Twiddell takes the snap. He throws a short one, but it falls incomplete. Bounced right off the hands of the mystery number 5 for North Valley. And that's just a drop pass. There's no 2 ways about it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful look, but unfortunately it was dropped by number 5 there. Hopefully we can get his name here for a little bit so we can actually call the actual name for number 5. But unfortunately, that wouldn't have. He had an opportunity to step out of bounds and stop the clock, but the clock's going to stop with an incomplete pass as well. Would have been a gain of about 6 if it was complete.
Exactly a minute left on the clock in the second quarter. 14-12, North Valley leads. It's 2nd and 10 from the 45. Twiddell under center for the Knights. He puts a man in motion. This looks to be a fake handoff keeper. He rolls out to his right. He completes a pass downfield. Cutting up and breaking 1 tackle before being brought down was, I believe, that was Hank Dumas. A gain of 11 on the play for North Valley. Yet another 1st down, 10 on the night, and they continue to move the ball nicely downfield, but it will keep the clock moving.
Yeah, he was inside unless we get a timeout, which I didn't see one called. It's going to bring it under 45 seconds now.
North Valley leads 14-12, 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line, driving downfield now. North Valley moving the sticks nicely throughout this entire first half, quite frankly, is trying to get their offense set up. It's taking them about 25 seconds.
A lot of time off the clock, under 30.
A lot of time. Twaddell, he takes the snap, he rolls out to his left side. He's feeling a little bit of pressure, has to keep it himself. He scrambles and runs out of bounds. I believe he got back to the original line of scrimmage with 19 seconds left. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Running short on time here for the Pelicans, but what can work here is a good stop. We do have a very late flag coming in. Might be some jaw-jacking out there as well.
Tends to happen. It'll be 2nd down for North Valley. Curious to see if they end up coming back. I didn't quite see where the flag ended up being.
It's at the bottom of the feet of 72.
Against North Valley. And they likely will be coming back about 5 yards. Didn't quite see what the signal was, but 19 seconds left to go. North Valley, unless they're able to get out of bounds, probably have about 2 plays left to go in this quarter. They still do have 1 timeout, and this is a 20-yard penalty. No, about 15 yards.
Yeah, it's a personal foul. I did not see the call. Maybe we're getting it here. No, he's just going to wind the clock.
Wind the clock. 15 seconds and counting, 14-12. North Valley leads. They have got 1 play left to go, and we're probably going to put some time back on the clock, or did they stop it before we had an official come in? Okay, 15.1, 14-12 the score. Man in motion, and before we get the play going, there is another flag on the far sideline.
Looks like a false start initiated there by the side judge.
And then you're exactly right, so this will bring it back even further. Still 2nd and down, and as I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just going to say it's going to become 2nd and absolutely forever. They got like half the field to get the line of gain with under 14-8 on the clock.
They do. They're snapping it from their side of midfield at the 46. The yard to gain is the 24-yard line. So I guess unable to do the mental math there, but yeah, 2nd and forever. This is a handoff going up the middle. No, it's Twaddell. He kept it. He throws it down the near sideline. It is incomplete. It looked to me like he sold that handoff very well, but the pass ends up falling incomplete. 7.5 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Likely that this is the last play. The Knights do lead 14-12, and Klamath Union does get the ball back after halftime. During our halftime show, we'll break down the game that we saw here in this first half, and we'll take a look around the scores in the area, specifically what's going on in the Klamath Basin, what's Henley up to up at Crook County, talk a little bit about Mazama tomorrow, and, of course, the rest of the game coming at you on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. That's where we're on air with live HD video on mybasin.com. 7.5 seconds left to go in the second quarter. North Valley leads 14-12. 3rd, and they're saying officially 30 yards.
Yeah, I would expect this to be the last play of the half. They might be airing this one down, or we might even see some magic with this hook and ladders to keep this one going.
Flag down before the play starts.
If we get a play.
Well, you never can tell around here. And the flag was thrown by our Whitecap tonight in the backfield. Unsure of the signal. This game brought to you in part by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install tires and wheels. Come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to help make sure everything's in working order at Les Schwab Tires. They've been doing the right thing since 1952.
Now, I noticed a couple of officials out there, they're talking, but I saw another one counting hats. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like there's only 10 Knights out there. And we got one coming in now.
So did they stop the play so that way North Valley could get the right amount of players on the field?
No, they're backing him up another 5.
Okay.
And he's waving it off, but they backed him up. Now he's bringing it back.
Well, okay. So a flag is thrown and nothing happens. 3rd and about 30 to go. This will be the last play of the half. 7.5 to go, 14-12. The score, North Valley is in the lead. Twaddell conferring with his men in the backfield, trying to get on the same page. North Valley likely not changing the play that they decided to run anyway. Again, there is not much time left to go in the second quarter. Twaddell drops back into the pocket. He hits a man over the middle. And it is caught at about the 39-yard line. North Valley uses their final timeout with 1.6 seconds left to go, and this will be the last play of the half. It is fourth and about 14 to go for North Valley. That was a nice gain on the play of about 15 yards, but still 4th and 14.
Yeah, it's going to be well short of the first down, but at this point, with just 1.6 on the clock, it's basically end zone or bust here.
And it looks like they're keeping the offense out on the field, but we did see North Valley kick a couple field goals from this distance. If it were to go that way, it would be almost a 50-yard field goal, a little bit more than that.
It is entirely possible. It is within their field goal kicker's range. There was a couple of guys kicking in warm-ups. One was not looking as good as the other. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this.
Looks like they're keeping the offense out there. 1.6 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. North Valley leads 14-12, likely the last play of the half. Twiddell under center. He takes it and fakes the handoff, falls back into the pocket, throws it over midfield. It falls incomplete. Twiddell slipped, it looks like, as he threw. And that brings us to halftime. North Valley leads the Klamath Union Pelicans 14-12. In our halftime show, stay tuned because we'll be talking about this game, the game we've seen so far. We'll also take a look ahead at what else is going on in the Klamath Basin. Of course, all that and more. Coming up on the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 KAGO, with live HD video on mybasin.com.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Thanks, kiddo.
Give everyone peace of mind on the road. Swing by or book online. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
If you're trying to lose some weight and get in shape, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club is the best place to do it. Harbor has state-of-the-art equipment, plus certified personal trainers to help you achieve your goals safely and quickly. They also have indoor tennis and pickleball courts, and tons of group exercise classes to help you have fun while you get in shape. When you're done with your workout, stop by their smoothie bar to get a nutritious boost. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
It's tax time! And Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls will help you make the most of your refund. Double down! Bring us your tax refund and we'll double it to use towards your down payment on your new vehicle purchase. And right now, choose from more new trucks and SUVs than ever and available 0% APR financing for up to 72 months. If you live here, you get it! Double your down payment during Ram Truck Month only at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, live with HD video on mybasin.com, also on air, 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. Halftime tonight, the North Valley Knights lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 14-12. North Valley started things off tonight with an 11-play drive lasting about 6 minutes. They capped it off with a Jenkins 18-yard touchdown through the air. They did not end up converting points on that one. The score at about 5:44 left to go in the first quarter was 6-0. North Valley got back into it with about 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. They ran a 3-play drive that lasted about 2.5 minutes, capped things off with a 4-yard Nate Getman touchdown. North Valley then answered back with a touchdown of their own on the very next drive. 7 plays, lasted about 2 minutes, capped things off with a 3-yard Jaden Twiddell quarterback keeper, making the score at the time 14-6. Klamath Union finishing things off. The final score of the half came with about 4.5 to go in the second quarter. Silas Dutra ran it in himself from about 16 yards out. That's how we get our score of 14-12, as Klamath Union did not convert on their 2-point conversions so far tonight. For Klamath Union, they've got 5 first downs in the night. North Valley has got 10. Klamath Union on third down conversions tonight is 0 for 3. Meantime, North Valley is 2 for 5, and both teams have tried 1 fourth down conversion. KU is 0 for 1. North Valley ended up succeeding on their fourth down conversions. They are 1 for 1 tonight. I'm Josh Eldridge. Joining me is Brian Gailey. And Brian, as we look towards the second half of this game, so far Klamath Union has won in the trenches, but North Valley has won through the air. What do you expect to see in the second half?
You know, I fully expect to see a lot more of the same. Why change the playbook halfway through if it's working on either side of the ball, right? If they're able to throw over the middle there with North Valley and get some yardage, why would you change that? And if loading the box for Coach Smith is working here on the Pels, again, I wouldn't change that whatsoever. You may start to see a few things that you haven't seen yet. We did see a lot of formations, a lot of screens, a lot of the same play, different looks, or same look, different plays, a lot of option plays there for North. But as you read those stats, it's pretty even, which is exactly what we expected coming into this game.
And you take a look at North Valley again. Their front guys have been pushed around a lot, but their sophomore quarterback, Jaden Twiddell, standing 6'3", and their sophomore wide receiver, Jalen Jenkins, have shined for North Valley. And really, these young guys coming up big for them.
They are, and you say young guys, the whole team's young guys. There's only 2 seniors on this entire squad, so they have a lot of opportunity to grow as a team. They could be a threat in the next year or two.
Absolutely, and for Klamath Union, I mean, what can you say about Silas Dutra that hasn't been said already? The man, he hasn't completed very many passes tonight, but man, if he is not smart scrambling the football.
He is looking good when he holds onto the ball, and he's able to sell the fake. He's fooled me a few times here tonight up in the box.
Absolutely. So far on the season for Silas, he's got almost 400 yards through the air. I assume just as much on the ground. Nate Getman has got a touchdown tonight. He's at about 250 yards on the season. And as we look ahead, I mean, Getman is a senior. I, again, mentioned Silas, who is a sophomore. But talk about these seniors for KU. They've got 10 of them. You got Caden Coulter, Zeke Pena, Jonas Lemire, Kane Holmgren, Ivan Alvarez. You got Nate Getman, who I'd mentioned, Donovan De Los Reyes, and Dawson Smith. And so far, these seniors, they're playing their last home game and absolutely want to go out with a win tonight.
Yeah, it's really nice to see these guys come together, especially the senior wishbone formation that Coach Smith put together there for that first drive was really nice to have all his seniors out there getting some love, getting some time, getting some carries. But you know what? Has really stood out to me as number 18, Jonas Lemire, who is the exchange student. This team has really rallied around that exchange student, haven't they?
Yeah, they absolutely have. And, he missed the first couple of games with an ankle sprain, but they kept him in the program. They kept pushing him. And even in his first and final year with KU, I mean, this team has really built a culture around not only him, but around a lot of these seniors that they will be missing next year. But these young guys coming up, again, Silas is a junior. He'll be back. His twin brother, Jameis Pablo, will be back another year. Still a lot to look forward to for KU, and still a second half of football to be played tonight. The North Valley Knights lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 14-12 at halftime. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll do our best to give you the picture of what's going on around the area. Got some scores. Also, the game formerly known as the Civil War. Oregon State and Oregon playing a bit of baseball tonight. I've got a score on that one for you too. So we'll break it all down coming up next on the Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union halftime show. The North Valley Knights lead 14-12 on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KO with live HD video for you on mybasin.com. Leave it here.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome you back to the Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union halftime show on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM KAGO. The score at half, North Valley 14, Klamath Union 12. I'm Josh Eldridge, joined by Brian Gailey. And as we look ahead to the second half of football tonight, both of these teams very evenly matched. As it stands right now, North Valley is third in the Skyline Conference with a 1-1 league record. Mazama is atop the Skyline Conference. We'll talk about the Vikings here in just a minute, but Henley trails them with a 2-2 overall record, a 2-1 league record. Again, I mentioned the Knights are in third behind them. Klamath Union actually has the same league record as North Valley at 1-1, but because the Pelicans have played one more game than the Knights and they had lost that game, their overall record is 1-3, so they dip down in the conference standings by just about half a game. And Phoenix, who is trailing Douglas tonight, is 0-3, 0-5 overall on the season. I mentioned Phoenix is playing Douglas. They are behind by about 14 points in that game. And Henley, last we heard about 20 minutes ago, they were up by 26 over Crook County, which is a good game there. But, of course, the game that everyone in the state is looking forward to is Mazama and Marist, the state championship game of sorts tomorrow. And, Brian, you're close with the Mazama program. As much as I love to focus on Klamath Union and North Valley tonight, it is hard to not talk about Mazama this season.
You know, Mazama's been very impressive. They're the most complete team I've watched Mazama have in a long time, and Mazama's been dominating the Skyline for a better part of a decade. You know, they're shirts that says they win the sky by pounding the ground. Right, it is what it is, and these guys, they're awesome. But in the past, it's all been about the rush. It's all been about the running attack. You know, with Lee at the quarterback, they're well-rounded. He's a threat. You know, he's a threat over the middle. He's a threat down the sidelines. You know, and they're just an awesome, well-rounded team, and there's no other way around it. You know, Broster House can run it right down the outside and sell the fake to him instead of it going up the middle. And then catch that deep ball as well to save the game or extend that game, not just save it, but they're extending their lead. You know, they had, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 60 points in the first, well, not quite 60 points, 52 points, if I remember correct, in the first half against KU last week. You know, they're pretty impressive. They're going to go against Marist. Marist they look great as well. They got a quarterback that's, a little scouting report on Marist is their quarterback likes to throw it quick. And their running game, they love to go up the middle, right side, left side, but they're pretty much in the middle. They don't really swing it around too much. But fully, when it comes to tomorrow, what I expect is the unexpected. We know what they're both capable of doing. It's what we don't know that's going to scare us.
Absolutely. And that game tomorrow, unfortunately, we won't be there to broadcast it live, but it will be available for free on the NFHS network. What time's kickoff tomorrow, Brian?
Kickoff is 4:30.
Kickoff at 4:30. So Mazama and Marist going at it in the state championship game tomorrow. Also on the NFHS network, playing before them is Marshfield and Gladstone. That'll be a great game, I'm sure, as well. Don't know too much about them, but in a season that almost didn't happen, it is very nice to see everything coming together in this culminating week. It's senior night here at Klamath Union. Mazama had their senior night last week, and it is good to see finally everything coming together at least best it can in a COVID-shortened season.
You know, a shortened season, these teams have made the absolute best of what they can do. And pandemic or not, there has been some great football by all schools that I have got to watch this year.
Absolutely. Well, we still got another half of football left to go this season, Brian. The North Valley Knights lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 14-12. Going to step aside, and when we come back, it will be third quarter action from Modoc Field. Appreciate you being with us on the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, live on air on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. We've got live HD video on mybasin.com. Action is next.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Thanks, kiddo.
Give everyone peace of mind on the road. Swing by or book online. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week. Live HD video on mybasin.com. On air on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. Getting ready for the third quarter tonight between the Klamath Union Pelicans and the North Valley Knights. The Knights lead the Pels 14-12. I'm Josh Eldridge, joined, of course, by Brian Gailey from the Klamath Sports Network. As we get ready tonight in the third quarter, Klamath Union will receive the football. They trail by 2. This is a great opportunity for KU to try to get back ahead in this one.
Yeah, they need to come out early and fast here in the third quarter with this drive. They need to score on this drive and get some points here, mainly for momentum, because we talked before the half. There really has been no big momentum swing by either team. This would be the time for Pelicans to gain some momentum.
Absolutely. And last year for the Pels, it was the same story against North Valley. Like I said, at halftime last year, It was 16-14, North Valley led. This time, the deficit still 2 for Klamath Union, but this time 14-12, obviously. Klamath Union would end up losing that game 29-26, hoping for a different outcome tonight on senior night. As the kick is up from North Valley, it bounces around at about the 20, fielded at the 15. It goes out of bounds at, they're calling it the 21-yard line. Bobbling that one around a bit was Ivan Alvarez, but KU will take over from the 20-yard line.
And Alvarez kind of got lucky on that one. He did bobble it a little bit, but it took a roll for the Pelicans and rolled out of bounds rather than coming back in because there was a defender right there ready to scoop that ball up.
We might be kicking this one off again as there is a flag down on the other side of the field at the 40. So could be kicking this one off again.
Yeah, it's offsides. Looks like we're going to re-kick.
And like we said, there's been about 12 flags total so far, and that was in the first half. 13 now for the game. Lucky number 13. We couldn't get out of 3 seconds in the third quarter before a flag. So they're now kicking it off from the 35, but this does give KU a chance at an actual return. So we'll see what happens. North Valley, the kick is up. Bit of a line drive. That time is fielded at about the 20 from Alvarez. Has a bit of trouble picking it up, but he does get there. Up past the 25, the 30, up near the near sideline, 35, the 40. Gets a bit of daylight before being brought down at the 45-yard line. There is 2 flags down at the 30.
And the ball did come out, but I do believe he was down before the ball squirted out.
And quite a bit of shoving going on at the 50, and 3 flags down on this play, although one of them clearly going to be some things going on down near midfield. And this is the last game of the year for both of these teams. Would like to see maybe them clean it up a little bit on the sportsman's side. We saw this last year against Elmira. And the last game of the year against Elmira was the same story. And without blaming anyone, it's one of those games where you see a lot of flags. Both teams get restless. They're not playing play after play after play. They get to talk to each other. And you just see this sometimes. And it happened last year against Elmira, last game of the season. And it seems to be happening here against North Valley, where these teams are just getting a little bit chippy with each other.
Yeah, you have to remember, these are just boys out here on the field, too. And there's a lot of pride that they're carrying around on their shoulders. And it's very easy to, you get called something on the field, you could take offense to it, and next thing you know, you're responding to it, and that's where the flag comes from, is through the response. The best thing that the Pels can do at this point is just to step up and not play that game and stay out of that whole realm entirely.
Absolutely. I agree. And obviously we don't know what happened on the near sideline. Obviously it seemed to be both sides, but again, hoping that we clean up the sportsmanship side because there's really no need for it.
No, these guys have been playing hot all year. They want to play hot all the rest of this game. It's the last half of football for these guys until August.
And they've waited so dang long to play it.
They have. So you're going to see that these guys are going to put it all on the line, both sides of the ball, both teams. It's all or nothing right now.
Absolutely. So as we get everything sorted, Klamath Union will start from the 35-yard line, still in their own territory, as Klamath Union, in their all-red uniforms, they drive from left to right across your screen. We are ready. 1st and 10 for Klamath Union. 3 wide receivers set out to the near side. They send one in motion. That's Jameis Dutra. Silas takes a snap. He drops back. He dumps a pass off close to Pablo Macias, who will end up going backwards. It looks like they're going to mark it a loss of maybe 1.5 yards on the play, maybe a little bit more.
Now, that screen was working for them in the first half, but it does look like that the Knights have picked up something to smell that play out before it's even going, and they were all over that one before it was even out of Dutra's hands.
The last 2 drives of the half for Klamath Union ended one ended in a 16-yard touchdown. There was a lot of scrambling from Dutra there. The last drive, I should say, North Valley played a great defensive possession. They were able to, exactly as you said, sniff some things out that KU was doing, whether it was the Silas keeper or whether it was a screen pass, exactly like you said. And we do have a flag down at about the 23-yard line. That's in the backfield. Our white cap tonight, David Van Horn, is calling false start against Klamath Union, so this one's coming back just a bit further. It'll be 2nd down and... what does that look like to you? Well, officially marked at 19 to go.
Yeah, it did look like maybe one of the guards moved after getting set on that play. Unfortunately, that it kind of hurts the Pelicans at this point. They really need to put something together here.
Two wide receivers sit out to either side of Dutra. He takes the snap. He hands it off to Getman, who gets wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, bringing up third for KU.
Yeah, that was a great bust through the line there. Looked like there was going to be a nice hole for Getman, but number 77 there for the Knights, Owen Farmer, we mentioned his name a couple of times. He's a junior, just blitzed right up the middle and wrapped him Getman up immediately.
Absolutely. 11 minutes and counting in the third quarter. North Valley leads 14-12 over Klamath Union. This brings up third down and about what looks to be 19 to go. KU has not yet converted on third down tonight. They're 0 for 3. A chance to do it here in the third quarter. Silas takes the snap. He drops back into the pocket. He feels a little bit of pressure, so he rolls out to his right. He throws it, but it is incomplete. Intended target was his twin brother, Jameis Dutra. That'll bring up fourth down for KU.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dutra on that one just was down low. He was under a lot of pressure. Silas under a lot of pressure. Jameis was in the right place, but unfortunately, Silas a little bit off the mark.
That will stop the clock at 10:39 to go in the third quarter. 14-12, North Valley leading. The Knights come out in their third quarter. They've got their maroon helmets with their white jerseys and their maroon numbering with the golden trim and golden pants tonight for the Knights as they get ready to take the punt return. The snap is very high. Pablo has to scramble for it at the 1 yard line. That's where he picks it up. He gets up past the 5 yard line, now to the 10, cuts upfield at the 15, now to the 20, the 25, the 30, 35, a spin move. He actually gains about 8 yards on the play. He ran 38 yards upfield, but still not good enough for the first down. And a broken play that you don't like to see if you're a Pelican fan, but man, seeing Pablo run like that, it sure is entertaining.
I'm not sure what happened with the long snapper on that one. It was 10 feet over his head, and he had to go all the way back to the goal line to pick it up. But he brought it out to the 38. They needed about another 4 yards for the first. It was looking good. He was scrambling well, but unfortunately it falls a little short and brings up excellent field position for the Knights, exactly opposite of what we were saying needs to happen for the Pels. The Pels needed to come out with a statement on that drive, but unfortunately fall short.
Pablo stands about 5'9". He's a point guard for the basketball team, and like you said, that was just way over his head. So the Knights take over, 10:26 to go, first and 10. They lead 14-12. And a little bit of an interesting formation coming out for the Knights as Twiddell was under center. He takes it himself. He feels a little bit of pressure, so he cuts upfield. He's being chased. He gets up to the 25-yard line, brought down on the far sideline at the 27. So call it a gain of about 5 on the play on the keeper from Twiddell, and he hasn't had to scramble too much tonight. He likes to roll out of the pocket, but hasn't had to cut upfield too much, but a good gain for him.
Yeah, he had a lot of yards on that. Unfortunately, it was a lot of yards to the edge of the field. He did gain 5, but he probably had about 20 on that run.
Yeah. Second and 5 for North Valley. The yard to gain is the 28. They take this one from about the 34. So again, second and 5. They lead 14-12. 9:45 left to go in the third quarter. One wide receiver set out to the near side for Twiddell. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. Make that 1, as now going out to be a wide receiver is Mercino. Pardon me, that is Friedman.
Keep your eye on Friedman. He's had quite a bit of opportunity here tonight. We've called his name several times.
A whistle is blown and a flag is down.
Maybe a delay of game.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we're getting a delay of game on this one.
So this one coming back, a lucky break for KU as North Valley couldn't quite get the snap off in time. That will remain second down, go back 5 yards. Second and 10 coming out for the North Valley Knights. Haven't tried to run it too much so far this quarter in their 2 plays that they have run, so I guess a small sample size does not necessarily dictate anything, but I anticipate North Valley will attack through the air quite a bit more, although no wide receiver set out in this play. It is a keeper for Twiddell. He finds himself a hole. He cuts up. He's up past the 30. Now the 25 before being brought down at, call it the 22-yard line, so it's a first down, a gain of about 13 on the play. Maybe closer to 15. It is a first down regardless for North Valley.
Yeah, that looked like a design keeper there from the huddle. Unfortunately, I should say fortunately, the defense was able to wrap him up and keep him from going in the end zone. But on the other side of the ball, they were just 1 block away from the end zone.
That is the 11th first down of the night for North Valley. Their first of this half. First and 10 for them from the 24 as they drive towards the north goal deep into Klamath Union territory. This one is a handoff coming to the near sideline. He is met, sheds off one defender. He is brought down at the 21-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3. And on the carry for North Valley there, I believe that was number 21, Chris Courier, who we saw go down earlier in his back.
Yeah, it's good to see Chris back out there on the field. Who must not have been hurt too bad. He come back. That's his first carry, attempt since going out of the game in the first half.
Good to see him back out on the field. Courier is a sophomore. Number 21 out there for North Valley, so keep your eye on him. Second and about 8 to go for North Valley, as they've got no real wide receiver set up on this drive. It looks to be a keeper for Twiddell again. He tried to go the other way. He gets past one defender, up past the 20. Brought out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A gain of about 5 on the play makes it second and about 3 to go. Third and 3.
North Valley has found something here with these quarterback keepers. Earlier it was sneaking for a couple of yards right up the middle. Now they're keeping it on a couple of option plays. They must have seen something in the first half on this Pelican defense that they're willing to take advantage of.
And you're right, the option play has come up nicely. Whether they want to hand it off to Courier or have Twiddell keep it, it has just been working so far in these first 4 plays of this drive. Third and 5, so went back just a couple of yards. They couldn't quite tell where he went out of bounds. Twiddell under center. This time it will be another keeper from Twiddell. He rolls out to his right side, feeling a little bit of pressure, cuts upfield. He is brought down by Klamath Union 79, Alan Adams, one of our seniors tonight, 6'4", 275 pounds. He ran after him. He's a speedy 275 pounds.
Yes, he is. That was right near the line of scrimmage. Not sure if it's going to be credited as a sack or not. But it does bring up 4th down.
Interesting decision for Coach DeForest of the North Valley Knights. Do you keep your offense out here? Do you go for it? 4th down. You've still got 6 yards to gain. It looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit out here. So from the right hash, it is going to be about a 35-yard field goal attempt for North Valley. Out to kick it for him is Joey Comeyford. The kick is up, and it is wide left.
He had the distance, but he wasn't accurate down the middle.
That's the second time that Comeyford has missed wide left tonight. So lucky break for KU. They are going to take over from the about 19-yard line. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be right about the 19. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the KU 19. That actually wasn't a very bad decision to send the field goal unit on there up by 2. The reason being is in warm-ups, they were knocking them in from there. I'm actually kind of surprised he missed that one to the left because in warm-ups it was looking good. So
hardly any wind to speak of down there on the field, too, so I think he just missed that wide left. So 6:58 to go. Klamath Union takes over. They trail by 2, 14-12 the score. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. This is a keeper for Silas. He's able to cut upfield. He gets to the 30. That should be good for a Klamath Union first down.
Yeah, that was looking good. He was actually wrapped up there by the quarterback on the other side, Twiddell. Twiddell actually playing a little defensive back as well. And he was, if it wasn't for him, it would have been more than just moving the chains for Dutra. He would have had a lot more yards. There was nobody near.
Silas, the gain went for 11 yards, so it'll be another first down for Klamath Union. That is their 6th of the night, first of this half. 1st and 10 from the about 32-yard line. And a couple guys jump, likely coming back against KU.
Yeah, it looked like on the left side there, 57, he was got up, but there was movement on both sides, so it's going to be interesting to see how they call this one. It does look like KU is backing up a little bit, though.
1st and 15 coming up for KU. The yard to gain is the 42. They're snapping this one from the 28. Silas takes the snap. He hands it off. No, he keeps it himself. He cuts up the far sideline, gets a little bit of daylight. Call it a gain of 10 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and long 4, I believe.
That was an interesting formation for a keeper there. It did look like a design keeper, but it was a spread offense. You had 2 receivers on the left and on the right on that formation.
Worked out nicely for KU, and Silas continues to keep the football and be a one-man show for this KU offense. Not to say his offensive line is not blocking for him, because they definitely are, but he's doing a lot of the ball movement himself. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to either side. He's got Getman off to his right. 3rd and calling it 5 yards to go. This is a keeper again for Silas. He spins. Does he get the first down? It looks like he's right at the yard to gain. They are saying
They're going to give it to him.
Wow, that looked a little bit short, but we will definitely take it if you're a KU fan. 1st and 10 for KU, and their 7th of the night.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell where the ball was. There was a defender in the way when his knee went down, but from this angle, he did look about a half yard short.
Well, Silas doing a great job keeping the football tonight. And 1st and 10 as they drive toward the south goal tonight, still on their side of the field at the 42. This one is a handoff to Getman. He gets swallowed up. He is fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he might have maybe a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, it could be a loss of about a half, maybe a football length. Fell a little bit short on there. He was immediately wrapped up. Even if Silas was able to keep that ball and like he had the previous few plays, he had nowhere to go either.
2nd and 10 coming up for Klamath Union. There is 4:57 left to go in this third quarter. The North Valley Knights lead 14-12. 2 wide receivers set out for Klamath Union. Again, Getman off to his right. KU likes to stay in this formation as Silas takes a snap. He's throwing it over the middle, and the intended target was Caden Coulter. Falls incomplete. That brings up 3rd for Klamath Union.
Yeah, it was just off the fingertips of Coulter, and again, they got lucky. This happened in the first half. Off those fingertips, it bounced up in the air right near a defender, and it could have been a picked off interception there by the Knights.
Thankfully, dropping incomplete for KU. It brings up 3rd and 10. So far tonight for Klamath Union, 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversion attempts. They are hoping for something to get going here as they trail by 2, 14-12, 4:43 left to go in the third quarter. 3 wide receivers set out to the near side for Silas. He takes the snap. He's looking to the near side. Drops back into the pocket. He hears one downfield and just overthrew Jameis. Oh, man, he had a zip code to himself downfield, but he just could not rein that one in. Just a bit overthrown by Silas.
Yeah, he was wide open there. Jameis was completely wide open, but Silas got a little excited when he saw how open his brother was and overthrew him by about half a yard, a step. He overthrew him by a step.
Yeah. Well, that brings up 4th for Klamath Union. They are now 0 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. Back to punt is Pablo Macias. The kick is up from about the 30. A great boot coming out from Pablo. Bounces around at the 15 and will find its way into the end zone for a touchback. North Valley will take over at the 20-yard line.
That was a great kick, and it was a good North Valley bounce. But it'll bring them out for 25?
The marker, I believe it's coming out to the 20.
20.
4.5 to go. North Valley leads 14-12. They're also taking over the football. Again, 4:30 to go. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Last time out for North Valley ended up being a turnover for them.
KU really needs to get a stop here, and again, that momentum swing. A defensive stop here, a 3-and-out, can really shift that momentum. Right now, I would say it is leaning to the Knights.
1st and 10. Put a couple guys in motion, does North Valley. Twaddell is under center. He takes the snap. He is going to hand it off this time. Cutting up the far sideline was Friedman. He sort of ran laterally, and it's another one of those things for North Valley. It's the second time it's happened this half where, in reality, he ran about 15 yards, but he only goes forward 2.
Yeah, you got to run north-south and not east-west if you want it to matter.
4:10 left to go in the third quarter. 14-12, North Valley leads. Appreciate you being with us tonight for the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO. Live HD video on mybasin.com. 2nd and 8 for North Valley. They take the snap, does Twaddell. It looked like it was a handoff up the middle, and it was a gain of, well, enough for a first down, probably about a gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, it was that misdirection end around for Courier to take that right up the middle. The misdirection sent the line to the left and left a hole there for Courier to gain a few.
1st and 10 for North Valley after that first down, 12 for them on the night. It is 1st and 10 for them from the 32-yard line. 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. 14-12, North Valley leads. Twaddell in the gun. He takes this one. He keeps it himself after the fake handoff. He's cutting up the far sideline. He's got himself a blocker. He gets the first down. Call it a gain of about 14 on the play. Another first down for North Valley.
Yeah, great couple of key blocks there for North Valley. Was able to get what he needed to move the chains.
And that is back-to-back first downs for the Knights. 13 on the night. 1st and 10 for him from the 47 as a defensive substitution coming in for Klamath Union. Stepping onto the field now is, I believe that's Luis Garcia. 1st and 10 for North Valley. Twiddell takes it. It is another option play, this time handed off to Friedman. He finds himself a little hole, gain of 3, but there is a flag down on the field.
Yeah, you're the white hat judge here tonight. Threw a late flag in there towards the line, so it'll be interesting to see what the call is here. We got a holding call on the Knights.
So this one is coming back. Lucky break there for the Pelicans. So they'll replay 1st down and go back about 10 yards. Only 5 yards? Am I mistaken? I believe this should be, 1st down, and it looks to me to be about 15 to go.
Yeah, they're going to move it to about the 37-yard line.
Unsure what's happening as...
Official time. Oh, we have a KU timeout.
KU timeout, so we're going to step aside as well. The score 14-12, and North Valley is in the lead. You got the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week with live HD video on mybasin.com.
If you're trying to lose some weight and get in shape, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club is the best place to do it. Harbor has state-of-the-art equipment, plus certified personal trainers to help you achieve your goals safely and quickly. They also have indoor tennis and pickleball courts, and tons of group exercise classes to help you have fun while you get in shape. When you're done with your workout, stop by their smoothie bar to get a nutritious boost. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
And we welcome you back to Modoc Field, the site of tonight's Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on mybasin.com, also on air on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. 14-12 the score. North Valley leads the Klamath Union Pelicans, and after a bit of confusion with penalties, there was a holding call that didn't go back 10 yards. It looks like they finally figured it out. So it will be 1st and 20 to go for North Valley after their holding call as we get back into play tonight. Twiddell fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He gets a little bit of room for a gain of, call it, a 7.5 on the play. Still 2nd down.
Yeah, another keeper by Twiddell. It's turning into the Twiddell show. That's a tongue twister right there. That 6-foot-tall quarterback, he can see over everybody. He can see over his line. He can see over the defensive line, and he is able to read the Mike linebacker and decide what it is he's wanting to do, whether it's to keep it or hand it off, and he's deciding to keep it over and over again, and it's paying dividends for him.
2nd and 13 for North Valley. Twiddell takes it under center. He keeps it again. He's rolling out to the near side. He throws it downfield. He's got his man open. It is incomplete, just about a 1.5 in front of his man downfield. That would have been Jalen Jenkins, but it does fall incomplete. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Knights.
That would have been complete touchdown for the Knights there if we're able to bring that one in. Jenkins had the defender beat on that one and nothing in front of him but end zone.
And for North Valley, as we look ahead at this 3rd down, they are 2 for 5 converting on 3rd down tonight. However, their 2 conversions did come on their first 2 attempts. Since then, they are 0 for 3. So curious to see which trend continues. It is 3rd and 13 coming up for North Valley. They take it from about the 44-yard line, still on their half of midfield as they drive toward the north goal, driving upfield from right to left. Twiddell is a little bit in the gun there, trying to figure out the formation. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to the near side, something we haven't seen too much from North Valley. A fumble snap. Twiddell has to fall on it, and every Klamath Union Pelican defensive lineman pushed their offensive lineman back into the play. That was as good as a defensive play as you can hope for KU.
That actually looked like something that we haven't seen all night tonight. It might have been a direct snap to the man in motion, but the timing just was not right. The short snap was perfect for the line of where the motion man would have been to get that direct snap. Unfortunately, the timing was just a little off, and it's going to be 4th down, and they're punting.
4th down and 19 to go is what they're calling it. That makes North Valley 2 for 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Here comes the punt. It was in the air, bouncing at about the 41-yard line, and will kick towards the North Valley sideline out at the 42. And that's where Klamath Union will take over their 3rd drive of this half. We're still scoreless in the 3rd quarter. $1:29 to go. North Valley leads 14-12.
Yeah, if there's a time now for the Pelicans to put some points on the board, it is this drive right here. We've said that a few times, but as the game continues to go on, we are, 12-9 remaining in the 3rd, so we just got basically one quarter of play left here. No scores in the 3rd quarter, and so that's showing that both defenses are holding up quite well.
Absolutely. Silas takes the snap. He hands it off to Getman, who breaks one tackle. He breaks another before being brought down by about 3 Knights. Call it a gain of 8 on the play for Getman. He's up over 250 yards on the season, close to 275 now for Nate Getman, who is a graduating senior tonight. He is putting on a show on the ground.
And I stand corrected on the clock. It was a minute. We're at 1:08 now. It wasn't just 12 seconds.
Again, like you said, 1:08. 14-12, the score. North Valley leads. He's got 2 wide receivers set out to either side. Does Silas Dutra. He decides to keep it after the fake handoff to Getman. Silas cuts upfield. He spins around one defender. He is brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on the play. Still good for a Klamath Union 1st down.
That moves the chains and puts Klamath Union into Knight territory. Hopefully they can keep this going.
Absolutely, and with that 1st down, it puts him at the 46-yard line, just as you said, into Knight territory, and driving toward the south goal, as you see it on your screen on mybasin.com, from left to right. Silas is back there. Getman is behind him. Haven't seen that look too much. Still wide receivers, 2 of them, out to either side of Silas. This is a handoff keeper for Getman. He got a beautiful block. He's up past the 30-yard line. He is slammed down. A big hit coming out at about the 28. But a 17-yard gain coming out for Nate Getman. Good for a KU 1st down, and I think the star of that play was the offensive line.
Yeah, it was. That came to an I formation there. We haven't seen that at all tonight. It wasn't a power I because the fullback wasn't in there, the halfback wasn't in there to block for the fullback, but Getman just took it right up the middle, had a beautiful hold. That was all credit to the line.
Absolutely. And now this will likely bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter as that buzzer sounds. 14-12, North Valley is in the lead, but Klamath Union is driving. You won't want to miss this 4th quarter of action on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. We've got live HD video on mybasin.com. Stay here.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we're back into the action quickly as we start the 4th quarter. Silas Dutra, he takes the snap. It's incomplete to Pablo downfield. So as we get back quickly, welcome you back nicely to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com. Got a little bit sped up there. No media timeouts in high school football, I guess. But 14-12 the score in the 4th quarter, and KU is taking it 2nd and 10. They are driving nicely downfield here. They take it from the North Valley 28-yard line. Silas Dutra has got Getman back behind him. 2 wide receivers set out to either side. Dutra is going to keep it himself. He finds himself a nice hole. He gets up past the 20 before being brought down at the, call it the 16, maybe 17-yard line. Good for a Klamath Union 1st down.
And we mentioned it in the first half. They're wrapping up the legs of these Pelicans over here. The Knights are wrapping up the legs. That was another example. If it wasn't for that wrap-up of the legs of Dutra, he would have been in the end zone. He had nobody around him.
10th 1st down of the night for Klamath Union, and 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And Dutra has got 2 wide receivers set out, and Getman is off to his left. Now to his right as Getman shuffles around. Dutra is going to hand it off to Getman, who again gets wrapped up at the ankles, this time still gaining about 3 yards on the play.
All they got to do is keep that moving. And, what's kind of working here from the advantage of Coach Smith and his Pelicans here is you also have to start thinking clock management at this point. You got a quarter to go. If you were able to punch it in here, you've got to also think about clock management, not leaving too much time on the hands for the Knights to capitalize.
Absolutely. And you look at the situation now, only a 2-point deficit. Klamath Union in the red zone. It is 2nd and about 7 to go. 1 wide receiver set out to the near side. Pablo Macias in a bit of an odd motion. And it looks like Dutra is going to scramble off to his right side. He's got quite a bit of time to throw. Now coming back to his left off the cut. He's coming way back to his left. It looks like he was wrapped up. And no flag down, so he will get back to the original line of scrimmage. It looks like 3rd down.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised not to see a flag on that one. It did look like a horse collar takedown, but, we're not on the field, so it's hard to say.
It definitely is hard to say tonight. 3rd and 10 for Klamath Union. They're in the red zone. They're taking this one from the about 19.5-yard line, moving towards the 18 as a man checking in for KU. That's number 10, Antonio Ortiz. Hasn't gotten too many snaps tonight. Looking to see if he's a major part of this play. As Getman is off to the left side of Dutra. He's got 1 wide receiver off to his right and 2 to his left. Dutra is rolling out to his left. He's got a little bit of time to throw. He dumps it off closely to Jameis. That is at the 1st down marker. We'll see if they give it to him.
That's going to be awfully close. They are going to give him the 1st down, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 9. Oh, no.
Oh. It looks like he is...
It is short.
About a football's length from the 1st down marker. Now, Coach Smith, you're down by 2. You don't like to go special teams on the other side of midfield. It looks like they're keeping the offense out there. Is a big play coming up for KU. 2 wide receivers set out to either side. Dutra is going to take it. He gets the keeper and a yard. That will be the 1st down for Klamath Union. And, man, if I wasn't on the edge of my seat during that play, a gutsy call for Coach Smith, and they are now 1st and goal.
That was a very gutsy call. The Knights had stuffed 6 people in the box right there, knowing that play was coming. I'm actually surprised that the Dutra didn't hand that off to
Getman
and let Getman run on the outside. He might have scored on that.
1st and goal for Klamath Union, and same sort of formation for KU. This one is a sweeper to Pablo. He's got himself away to the end zone, and he's in for a Klamath Union touchdown.
That was a great play there by Pablo. Came in motion and just swept right into the inside there and was able to score on that north end zone.
That puts Klamath Union up 18-14, pending an extra point. He scored that one from about 8 yards out. That was a beautifully drawn-up play for the Klamath Union Pelicans.
Yeah, that was another one that we haven't seen tonight. As we allude to at halftime, it may come down to these teams putting something out there, expanding their playbook and using some stuff we haven't seen yet.
And for Klamath Union, they're trying to go for 2 to put their team up 6. Same formation, and this time it is a keeper for Silas. He feels a little bit of pressure, dumps it off into the end zone, throws it just short of a man who was wide open, Antonio Ortiz in the far corner. The score will remain 18-14. Klamath Union leads with 8:41 left to go in the 4th quarter. That play for KU lasting 8 plays and going about 5 minutes, give or take a couple of seconds. That was a great drive for him.
That was an absolutely great drive for him, and going for 2 there is not a bad idea either. You're up by 4 here. That's going to field goal ain't going to cut it here. They have to put it in the end zone to go ahead. So going for 2 there would have forced, to go for 2 on the other one.
Yeah,
right. If the Knights come back and score, then that would have forced them to do it as well. So going for 2 there, it was the right call.
And it definitely gets a little bit dicey when you get an unusual score like 14-12, 18-14. You don't see that too much. It's not a nice round football number. So curious to see. These coaches are going to have to make some decisions like that in this final 8 minutes, 41 seconds.
It's going to be nice to see I'm looking forward to seeing how North Valley is going to respond to that score.
Well, Klamath Union decides to kick it off. A bit of a squib kick, takes an ugly bounce out to about the 28-yard line. So it ends up working on the end for KU. North Valley takes it over. They're marking it at the 29-yard line. 29-yard line. 8:39 to go in this fourth and final quarter of the season. And the Klamath Union Pelicans lead 18-14 after their last scoring drive that was capped off by a 9-yard Pablo Macias sweep touchdown. Now it's up to North Valley to answer back, and it has really been the Jaden Twiddell show in the second half.
It really has been, and the Pelicans need to come up with an answer for that.
We'll see what they do here. They've got their lineman up, ready to go. Twiddell takes the snap. This is a handoff. And brought down after a gain of about 1.5 yards. It was a handoff to Chris Courier, the sophomore.
Courier is the player who got injured in the first half. It's good to see him come back.
Absolutely.
We do have a couple of Pels that are a little slow to get up.
Hoping that it's just the chilly weather, and it looks like everyone is okay on the field. At least that's what we're hoping for. It'll be second and call it 8 to go for North Valley. The yard to gain is the 39-yard line. Substitution coming in for the Pels. Getman takes a seat, and entering the game is Garcia. Second and 8 for North Valley. They trail by 4. 18-14 the score. 8:13 left to go in the fourth quarter. Twiddell is back there. He's got one running back off to his left side. It was a little bit of an option play, but there is a flag down on the far sideline.
Yeah, it was a little different look by the Knights there as well, and I think we might have had somebody jump a little early because of it.
Oh, that's going offsides against KU. Or was it encroachment?
That is KU. So KU got a little antsy on that one.
5-yard penalty for him. That brings up second and about 3 to go. And a big play coming up for KU. Would love to push him backwards here as Twiddell is back there. He's got one wide receiver off to the far side. This is another keeper. He's going to go out to the far side. He's got a blocker and some daylight. He's up to the 50 before being brought out of bounds. That is about a 13-yard keeper and gain for Jaden Twiddell, who is running wild tonight.
And Jameis Dutra is the one that forced him out of bounds on that play. You said he had a blocker. He did. If it wasn't for Dutra, again, that could have been 6 more for the Knights.
Absolutely, and as we look ahead, 1st and 10 for North Valley from the 49-yard line, driving now towards the south goal from left to right across your screen on mybasin.com. One wide receiver out to the near side, Twiddell under center. He is going to hand it off. I believe that was to Courier once more, this time swallowed up in the backfield by KU. He's going backwards about 3 yards.
And it looks like they're going to give him forward momentum on that. It's only going to be about a loss of a yard on that play.
Still getting
Maybe
in there
2.
for KU. It's nice to see the defensive linemen still breaking through that O-line for North Valley and committing to stopping the run.
It is. It's all or nothing. They're leaving it on the field tonight. There is no tomorrow.
It is culminating week number 6. The OSAA has sort of allowed us to schedule who we want to. North Valley was supposed to come here week 1, and now they are finally here in the last week of the season. The score 18-14, KU leads. There is a flag down as the snap comes out. It was a handoff to Friedman, who comes up the near sideline. He is tackled out of bounds after a gain of 3, but again, there is a flag down at about midfield near the original line of scrimmage on the near sideline.
We'll have to see what that flag is, but I've been really impressed by the Knights number 3, Friedman, here tonight. Freshman coming in and dealing with these varsity guys. That's pretty impressive what he's been able to do tonight.
And illegal, was it? I couldn't quite hear. I was listening for our PA announcer to try to get the call right. Illegal shift?
That's what I heard.
I've never heard that call before.
Movement on the line.
Okay. Well, goes against North Valley regardless. It'll be second and quite a long ways to go. It looks like about 18, 17 yards to go for the North Valley Knights. The clock continues to run. 6:57 to go in the fourth quarter. KU leads 18-14 over these North Valley Knights. NV does have the ball. 2 wide receivers set out to the left side, and Friedman, the running back, set up to the right. And Twiddell puts Friedman in a little bit of motion. Twiddell drops back. He's rolling off to his left side. Feels a little bit of pressure, and he's sacked for a huge loss about 15 yards back. In the tackle for KU, was that Lemire?
I think it was. It was either Lemire or it was Holmgren. Either way, it's a huge sack and big momentum builder here for the Pelicans.
A sideline jumping up and down. They're hitting each other's helmets. That's an exciting play, but you still have third down to go. And for North Valley tonight, they are 2 for 6 on third down conversions at about a 33% rate, although they have not converted on their last 4 third down attempts.
This is going to be a tough one to convert it. They got to go all the way to the 39 of the opposite side of the field.
They're snapping this one from the 33-yard line. 33-yard line, yes, on their side of midfield. Snap goes to Adele. He's looking to his right, now to his left. He dumps it off near close. It's picked up at the 30, and cutting up field, spinning around a man before being brought down was number 22 for the North Valley Knights. That would be Hank Dumas. It was a small gain on the play, but not good enough for a first down, so it brings up 4th for North Valley.
Yeah, they only got about a third of what they needed, so it'll be 4th down here for the Knights. They got a long ways to go, so I would expect the punt team to come out.
And that's exactly right. That is what's happening. Back to receive for KU is Alvarez. He's had a little bit of trouble in the second half corralling the football. Hoping for a nice return from him. He's done quite nicely, averaging about 17 yards on the night per return. Bit of a line drive kick. That one is caught by Alvarez at the 25. He breaks one tackle. He's now up to the 30, coming to the near sideline. Cuts back the other way past the 35, now up to the 40 before being brought down on the near sideline. And another about 15-yard return for Alvarez.
Yeah, he was brought down behind by Wyatt Hawley, another freshman here for this North Valley squad.
Klamath Union takes over at their own 40-yard line with 4:58 to go in this fourth quarter. They lead 18-14 over the North Valley Knights.
You know, Coach Smith and his team would love to put one in the end zone here, but really it's all about clock management. Just keep getting those first downs, milk that clock, and that's how you're going to win this game.
Absolutely. Klamath Union, you mentioned the first down so far tonight. They've got 11, looking to build on that total here. 1st and 10 from their own 40. North Valley looks to be sending the house, as this is a sweep to Pablo Macias. He's got one blocker ahead of him. He tries to cut back the other way, a gain of 3.5, maybe 4 on the play for Pablo. Solid gain.
Yeah, Pablo tried to put the brakes on there and let the defender go by him, but they were not fooled that time.
Pablo's got a bit of quick feet. I mentioned he's a junior standing about 5'9", 170 pounds, plays point guard on the basketball team, hit one of the biggest shots in Klamath Union history last year as far as basketball goes. He's quick, he's fast, but it's tough to stop yourself when you're going that fast.
It is. Yeah, all of his momentum was carrying him towards the sideline, and he wanted to go back to the middle.
2nd and 6 to go for KU. One wide receiver set out to the near side, 3 to the far side for Dutra. He puts Pablo in motion, coming to the near side. Silas also rolls to the near side. He's got himself some room. He passes midfield up past the 45, the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Klamath Union.
Beautiful, beautiful play by the Pelicans on there. It was a designed run. As soon as he got the ball, as soon as Silas got the ball, he tucked it. He was gone and put that in the end zone. Awesome, awesome run there by the Pelicans.
Call it 55 yards for Jameis Dutra. His 2nd touchdown on the night puts Klamath Union up 10, 24-14. And now going for the extra point. Likely to see them kick this extra point. Pablo is out to do it.
What were we just saying, Josh, just to milk the clock and get a couple first downs?
I'm sure they'll take this too.
Yeah.
The kick from Pablo is good. 25-14, a huge 55-yard touchdown for Silas Dutra. That's how we get to our score. KU up by 11. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with more fourth quarter action on the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, live on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Thanks, kiddo.
Give everyone peace of mind on the road. Swing by or book online. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week, live on 1150 AM and 92.9 FM KAGO HD video on mybasin.com. Klamath Union kicking the ball off after a touchdown put them up 25-14. The kick rolls out to about the 21. It's picked up by Courier. He gets up to the 36-yard line, and that's where North Valley will take over. But Brian, 55 yards, and Silas took it to the house. What an exciting play that was.
That was amazing, as I said before, and to see Silas take that to the house. Longest play of the night tonight, I believe, 55 yards, and it was a quarterback keeper. It looked designed from the very beginning.
Absolutely, and as North Valley takes over, 3:57 left to go in the fourth quarter. Klamath Union leads 25-14. North Valley is looking for a quick hitter here, so, as Twiddell has had a little bit of luck on the ground in the third and the fourth quarters up to this point, he's likely going to have to drop back into the pocket quite a bit on these last couple of drives for North Valley.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some quick throws. When they were doing warm-ups earlier, we were actually verifying the lineups and whatnot. They were trying to tell Twiddell to throw it a little bit faster out of the pocket.
And Twiddell, in fact, takes the snap and pitches it. The ball is loose and picked up by Klamath Union. It is coming all the way back to the house. Jameis Dutra with a scoop and score for Klamath Union.
A scoop and score that puts another 6. No flags. I see no laundry on the field, so that one's going to stand. Great job, great awareness on the fumbled handoff there, or the fumbled pitch from North Valley. So the Pelicans, a great awareness, able to pick that up and take it to the house.
That gives both Dutra brothers a touchdown on the night. That time Jameis with the scoop and score makes the score 31-14. And now awaiting an extra point. Pablo kicked one about 2 minutes ago in real time, and now looking to do it again. He punched it through, looking to make the score 32-14, pending the extra point. And the kick from Pablo is wide left. Missed quite a few kicks wide left tonight out of that north end zone, so maybe the wind is a factor. But still, 31-14. Klamath Union, they are waking up.
They are waking up. That kick could have come right down to just excitement, right? To see the scoop and score there and watch that and then try to, you're cheering for your team and then try to, yeah. I'm tongue-tied and excited over here watching these guys play. I can only imagine what they feel like on the field.
And on senior night, nonetheless, they're up 31-14. And although the last two scores have been from twins, juniors, still an exciting night nonetheless.
It has been an exciting night. Exciting last 5 minutes.
Absolutely. 3:45 left to go in this fourth quarter. Klamath Union up 31-14. Pablo Macias is going to be kicking it off, and it looks like we're going to have a discussion at the football on the 40-yard line. And maybe a bit of trouble. Well, for our radio audience, what just happened? An official walked up to the football, picked it up, and placed it down. So, important things happening down here at Modoc Field, and Klamath Union will kick things off. The kick is a bit of a ground ball, bounces ugly to the 30-yard line. It is picked up by a Knight, and he is brought down at the 35-yard line. This KU team, when they are bouncing out on the field, they are excited to be here, and, man, they are showing it in this fourth quarter.
We talked about it all night long. It's momentum. These guys, they have it now, and they're fired up, and they know they have it. It's going to be exciting to see what this defense can put together now. Going back to that ball being picked up by the official, it almost looked like he was looking to see if it was the North Valley ball that was teed up. So I don't know. You don't see things like that too often, but the way he looked at the ball when he picked it up, and then he called the kicker over as well. But it's all seemed fine. No deflate gate here.
Even if you kick the North Valley football, they're getting it back anyway, so he put it back down. It is what it is. 3:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. KU leads 31-14. Twiddell drops back into the pocket. He unleashes one to the 40-yard line. It is caught and brought down after about a gain of 7. The target there was Brady Huff. We did figure out who the mystery number 5 was for North Valley. Brady Huff, the sophomore tight end for the Knights. That's who number 5 is for him.
So looking at the clock, we're continuing to run under 3 minutes, 20 seconds. The Knights are going to have to do something really quick here if they want to stay in this game being down where they are.
You mentioned 3:13 left to go in the fourth quarter. The score, 31-14, Klamath Union. It is second and about 2 to go for the Knights, and they're going to have a lot of trouble keeping the football on the ground. And, that last pass going for about 8 yards was a good gain. You need something bigger than that, though. And Twiddell
got a flea flicker.
The man downfield. The intended target was number 25. That would have been Matt Sharpen, and that was the flea flicker play. I couldn't quite get the words out of my mouth what exactly the play was. We do have a Pelican down on the field with 2:51 left to go in the fourth quarter. Klamath Union is leading 31-14, and as the players take a kneel, as we near the final 251 of the season for Klamath Union. They've come out strong in this game. It was a lot of back and forth for both teams so far this game until Klamath Union, they've put up almost 20 points in this quarter, 19.
Yeah, they manned up. Really, they came out, they knew they were down, and they knew they had to make some changes, and Coach Smith has made those changes, and they look like a completely different team.
Absolutely. And
not to say they weren't looking good before. The defense was strong right up off that line and holding the run, but as soon as Twiddell was able to start keeping those options, it showed a weakness in the defense, and now they were able to capitalize on a couple of turnovers, and it's been really amazing.
Absolutely. 3rd and 2 for North Valley. They are packing the box. Twiddell under center. He drops back. He is going to hand it off to Friedman. Friedman, a gain of 1 on the play, bringing up 4th for North Valley. Offense staying out on the field, I would assume, for North Valley, as they're down 31-14 with 2.5 to go in the 4th.
Yeah, being down where they are, I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not moving with a little bit more hustle out there on the Knights.
And 4th and 1. They are letting the clock tick down quite a bit. 2:23 to go in the 4th. They're down 31-14. The Pelicans are in the lead here. And we hear the train across the way at Modoc Field, always a mainstay here. As the ball is snapped, it looked like Twiddell tried to keep it. Did he get the first down? Maybe a yard short.
I think the train was the 12th man on that one. I think they came up a little short.
And that is a turnover for North Valley. And that as good as wraps this game up with 2 minutes left to go, 31-14. Klamath Union taking this one over. They're able to drain a little bit of clock as North Valley on only their second 4th down conversion attempt of the night. They are now 1 for 2 in that respect, failing on this last one, obviously. And it looks like to me there is a timeout on the field to KU. And for North Valley, the showing for them tonight, a strong first half, but KU just kicked it into a second gear in the second half.
Yeah, they stepped it up this second half. They found another gear. They took it into overdrive where North Valley is maybe running in the mud, as you said earlier. Maybe it's the elevation, maybe it's not. I haven't seen too many guys out there with their hands on their hips, so they're not too gassed out there. KU has found something. They have found a weakness in this Knights team, and they're exploiting it.
Absolutely, and Klamath Union takes over. 2:08 left to go in this ball game. The Pelicans lead 31-14. It is senior night, of course. Klamath Union looking to go out on top in that respect. We'll talk about the seniors in the post-game show, as well as break down the game that we have had at hand so far. Take a look ahead for these two squads, these programs, and, of course, what else is going on in the area. But still, about 128 seconds left to go. As Silas takes the handoff, he gets it out to Getman, who rushes upfield on the far sideline for a gain of about 10 yards. It looks like he's good for a KU first down.
I can't tell if he stayed in or went out, but it is a first down. If he was out, it was able to stop the clock, but it would be smart for them to stay inside and allow that clock to run.
Absolutely. At this point for KU, you want to limit the runs to the sidelines. You can punch it up the gut with Getman, get 3 yards every play. And Silas, the same thing. I mean, he could keep it and run up the middle as well. Although Silas, a lot of his rushes have come scrambling off the pass. So we'll see what they decide to do here, as it looks like the senior wishbone has made the return for KU. They've got their seniors back out onto the field. A fumble in the backfield. North Valley falls on it. And Zeke Pena is the one to fumble it for KU, and that will be a turnover for them. Their first offensive blunder so far tonight. North Valley takes over with 1:55 left to go in the fourth quarter at about the 38-yard line in their territory.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just a little goof there on the handoff. It looked like the ball was right where it needed to be, but it just slipped right through the hands of the running back.
Well, the senior wishbone was short-lived that time. Brian didn't make it too far. That's all right, though, because with 1:55 left to go and trailing by my count, 17 for North Valley, the score is 31-14. Still a lot going right for KU as the Knights take it over. 1st and 10. Under center is Twiddell. He takes it and is going to keep it himself. He rolls out to his right, unloads one downfield to Friedman, the intended receiver, but it does fall incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for North Valley.
Yeah, he overthrew Friedman just outside of his reach. He needed about another foot of air underneath him, but we do have a flag from the far sideline.
Curious to see what this flag ends up being. Our white cap tonight, David Van Horn. And looks to be a little bit of a conversation around the football. And I didn't see the flag thrown. Where was it thrown, Brian?
It's on the far side, about the 44-yard line. I'm not sure. Let's see what the call is. Another sideline infraction.
And that goes against North Valley. And I'm not even sure about the sideline infractions. What exactly does that do as far as disciplinary action that's non-football game related? Is that all it is, or is there a warning to a specific person on the sideline?
It's a penalty that goes to the sideline as a whole, and usually you get a couple of warnings, and it can turn into a 5, even a 10-yard penalty if repeated. Fumble.
The fumble is knocked loose by Klamath Union on the play, and Pablo Macias pitches it back to the lineman. Big number 74 taking that one. He was dropped just short of the end zone. Donovan De Los Reyes, the senior, carrying the football.
That is amazing. I'm over here laughing. That is one of the best plays we've seen all night. Sharing the love. The big guy trying to get into the end zone. Give him some love.
You love to see it. And as we were just talking, just so we're all on the same page for the radio audience, it was a handoff to North Valley's number 3, Leo Friedman. He was hit hard. He dropped the football, and Pablo Macias picked it up. He took it all the way to about the 2-yard line, pitched it backwards to De Los Reyes. And De Los Reyes, he did not expect the football there, but he took it up another about 1.5 yards, and Klamath Union takes it 1st and goal from the 7. So loss of yards on the decision from Macias, but De Los Reyes is pleased with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little tired now. He's got his hands on his hips. He wasn't expecting that, but he was down there ready to give that block and ended up getting the ball instead.
Well, he don't get tackled too much. $1:32 left to go in the 4th quarter, 31-14. Klamath Union with it. It's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Pardon me, not the 7. But still about a loss of a couple yards on that decision from Macias, although the senior wishbone makes a return for KU. Coulter, he takes the handoff. It is handed off up the far sideline. In for a Klamath Union touchdown is Kane Holmgren.
Yeah, it was a great little run to the outside there, handoff out of that wishbone. Wishbone a lot of times has like triple option in it, so it's really cool to see them bring that out and give these seniors some love. As in the pregame or ahead of the game when we were talking to Coach Smith out on the field, calling it the senior wishbone, giving him his seniors some love.
Absolutely, and those are some of the things that you just love to see. Klamath Union has scored 4 times in this quarter alone, making the score 37-14, pending an extra point. The kick from Pablo Macias, that one splits the uprights. The score 38-14 for Klamath Union, and they have busted this game wide open. 26 points by my count in this quarter alone.
Yeah, they've come unhinged on this this quarter. Both teams look solid all the way up until halfway through this quarter when something just clicked here on the sideline here for the Pelicans, and they haven't looked back.
And Klamath Union scored their first score in this quarter with 8:39 left to go in it, and these last 7 minutes they've scored 3 more times.
It's great. It's not having been able to watch these guys all season like you have, this has been a treat.
And as someone who's been able to watch this team all season, it's been great because you see, Klamath Union first week it was I believe 48-6 loss to Sutherland. Then you go play a team in Hidden Valley who's got multiple D1 kids on their team. They are thoroughbreds over there in Grants Pass, and very good team. You lose big in that game. You come back. You play Phoenix, a solid win against a middling team. Miss a week, come back, play Mazama, the best team in the state, in my opinion. And that was a tough one, 60-8 for Klamath Union. It's great to see them with their heads held high on senior night and coming away with a victory here. Still a minute 27. Things can happen. The kickoff, a little bit of an ugly bounce out to the 25. It is taken up to the 27-yard line, so didn't get very far, did the North Valley carrier there. I'm trying to see who exactly it was. And that looked to be number 10 for the Knights. That was Jenkins on the return. So North Valley takes over 1st and 10, $1:19 to go in the 4th. And they trail 38-14 to these Klamath Union Pelicans.
You know, you mentioned there for a sec talking about how this season's gone for the Pelicans, and you mentioned Phoenix. And I actually have to give a little shout out to Phoenix here. They were able to formulate a team after everything that their town went through last year with those fires. They lost a lot of people. It's been really hard over there on that squad. That whole school, the community, and the fact that they were able to even just field a team this year,
absolutely,
has been pretty cool.
Absolutely. Credit to the athletic staff over there. Dave Earhart, the athletic director, all the credit to him and his programs. And the kids, the community of Phoenix has really recovered nicely. That was Klamath Union's only other win on the season. There is a flag down as North Valley starts this possession.
Yeah, we have a false start on the offense.
So it's coming backwards.
It's not the direction North Valley wants to go now.
And it'll bring up 1st and 15. They snap it from the 25. The yard to gain, they snap it from the 24. The yard to gain is the 39. So 1st and 15, about 18 left to go in the 4th. And curious to see what North Valley decides to do as far as running plays in the last game of the season. Twiddell hands it off up the middle. A gain of about 2 yards on the play. That was Friedman on the carry for the Knights. That'll be 2nd and about 13 to go as we near under a minute now. Yeah, the 38-14 ball game.
Yeah, being up by 24 in under, as you said, or under a minute. We're under 50 seconds now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a heavy dose of running up the middle here to finish this game out.
2nd and 13 for North Valley. They take the snap. It is handed off to Friedman. He's coming up the near sideline. He gets to the 30, and he is taken out of bounds. They are going to have the clock continue to run here as we near under 30 seconds, 38-14. And Klamath Union is going to come away with a win on senior night. And if you just tuned into this game at halftime and tuned out, man, did you miss an explosion from Klamath Union? They've been two completely different teams, in my opinion.
They have. Well, they've been first 3 quarters versus the 4th quarter. They've been 2 completely different teams. They were strong the first 3 quarters of the game, but this last quarter, they just turned it up a notch. They knew this was a last home game of the season. They're not going to be able to play in these uniforms and with these seniors again. And we're just running out the clock, and that's take us home.
That's Klamath Union's win on senior night. They win 38-14 over North Valley. A stirring win for Klamath Union, an inspiring win for their defense, an inspiring performance by their defense, I should say. And Coach Tom Smith should be very proud of his seniors. We'll talk about senior night coming up in the post-game show, so we're going to step aside, and we'll be right back with you on the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 FAGO. You've been watching live video on mybasin.com. The final tonight, Klamath Union 38, North Valley 14. We'll be right back.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Thanks, kiddo.
Give everyone peace of mind on the road. Swing by or book online. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
If you're trying to lose some weight and get in shape, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club is the best place to do it. Harbor has state-of-the-art equipment, plus certified personal trainers to help you achieve your goals safely and quickly. They also have indoor tennis and pickleball courts, and tons of group exercise classes to help you have fun while you get in shape. When you're done with your workout, stop by their smoothie bar to get a nutritious boost. See and feel the difference at Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. It's the place to be.
It's tax time! And Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls will help you make the most of your refund. Double down! Bring us your tax refund and we'll double it to use towards your down payment on your new vehicle purchase. And right now, choose from more new trucks and SUVs than ever and available 0% APR financing for up to 72 months. If you live here, you get it! Double your down payment during Ram Truck Month only at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on mybasin.com, also on air on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM KAGO. The final tonight from Modoc Field, 38-14. Klamath Union coming away with a big win, but it didn't look like we'd have this score at halftime, Brian. We went into halftime with a score of 14-12. North Valley leads, and Klamath Union completely flipped the script in the second half.
They sure did. You know, the first half was everything that we thought it was going to be. Back and forth, nonstop, over, just a constant battle on both sides of the ball. And then all of a sudden, they just turned it on in the fourth quarter. Something got lit behind them. Maybe it was senior night. Maybe it was the last game at home of the season. Something lit a fire under them, and it changed everything.
Absolutely. Tonight, as we go down the scoring, North Valley actually struck first tonight. It was a... let's get this name right. Jalen Jenkins, 15-yard touchdown reception. That's how we got the scoring off started tonight. After that, Klamath Union punched in the next score on a 4-yard Nate Getman run. That was a touchdown. At that point, it was tied up at 6-6. North Valley struck back at what would end up being their final score of the game on a 3-yard Twiddell quarterback keeper. They converted on the 2-point conversion, which gave them their score of 14-6. Klamath Union, before the end of the half, came back with a 16-yard Silas Dutra touchdown, and they ended up missing the 2-point conversion on that one. We go into halftime with a score of 14-12, a scoreless third quarter, and with 8.5 minutes left to go in the fourth, Silas Dutra, the quarterback, broke off a 55-yard quarterback keeper. They made the extra point. After that, his brother Jameis Dutra on the very next possession for North Valley scooped and scored a fumble. And then it was a 5-yard Holmgren touchdown after yet another fumble by North Valley. So as much as KU did really well this game, there was a couple of errors for North Valley that KU, to their credit, took advantage of.
They did, and those turnovers were key for everything happening there for KU. It was that momentum swing. We talked about momentum all night long, and that was the swing. It was that 55-yard run by the quarterback, by Silas, that just it was it lit the fire underneath these guys.
And for Klamath Union tonight, 12 first downs, 14 for North Valley. I think overall for the game, the Knights moved the ball very, very well, just not enough to get this victory tonight. For Klamath Union, as a matter of fact, this is an interesting stat. 0 for 5 on third down conversion tonight, but still winning 38-14. North Valley converted 2 for 7, and both teams missed 1 fourth down conversion. Klamath Union only tried once. North Valley was 1 for 2 on the night, and that is pretty much the tale of the tape this evening. But Silas Dutra, the quarterback for the Klamath Union Pelicans, what more can you say besides he was the most valuable player for the Pelicans tonight?
Oh, easily. The team did well as a whole. I'm not going to discredit any of that, but Dutra stepped it up tonight to a whole nother level.
All right, we're going to step aside one more time in the post-game show. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on in the Klamath Basin. Of course, Mazama making the trip up to Cottage Grove High School tomorrow. We'll chat a little bit about that, give you some score updates from around the area, and send you on your way. That is coming up next on the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM KAGO, live video on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses. all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO, live HD video on mybasin.com. The final tonight, 38-14. Of course, this wasn't the only football game going on in the area tonight. As far as the Skyline Conference goes, Henley's been playing up at Crook County. Don't have a final there. However, Henley was leading 26-0 at halftime, although that was about an hour ago now. They're probably wrapped up now, but Henley, good showing against Crook County regardless. As far as Skyline Conference goes, Phoenix has been playing Douglas. Last we knew, Phoenix was trailing Douglas, but again, you mentioned in the broadcast, fair point, Phoenix, resilient program, resilient folks out there in the town of Phoenix and talent, and I wish them the best going forward. They've obviously still got baseball and basketball to worry about this season, but trailing Douglas earlier today. And the final Skyline Conference game we've got to worry about that's coming up tomorrow. Brian, you're going to be out there at Cottage Grove High School, Mazama and Marist. That is the state championship game tomorrow. Folks who want to watch it can do so for free on the NFHS network, but should be a fantastic game up there tomorrow.
It should be. If you're going to catch the game, NFHS network, and search Mazama High School, you can find the links there. It's going to be a fantastic matchup. This season, OSAA wasn't going to sponsor official state championships, and the ADs and head coaches of the 4A said, we're gonna do something, because we have culminating week. We're able to pick our opponents in culminating week, and we went into the detail on that on KLAMATHsports.net, describing how that works. But essentially, a BCS-style ranking system was developed out of these ADs and coaches. In the last couple of weeks, Mazama has been at the top of the list unanimously. And flip-flopped was Marist as well as Marshfield. Marist and Marshfield played last week in Eugene, into a credible game in which Marist was able to win at home, thus ranking them number 2. So it's number 1, number 2 in Cottage Grove tomorrow. Kickoff 4:30. I am going to be there. I'm going to be pulling double duty. Going to be doing a little bit of sports news updates from there, as well as watching my boy play. So pretty proud papa here.
Absolutely. Mazama Marist tomorrow. Another game going on at Cottage Grove High School, which I'm sure you'll get the chance to see. Marshfield Gladstone. You might be able to peek through the chain link fence there. Cottage Grove High School. I'm not sure how they're doing attendance, but should be a great game there. That's the matchup between 3 and 4, as you mentioned, these BCS-style rankings. Number 5 would be Banks. Cascade is number 6. Hidden Valley is 7. Estacada is number 8. LeGrand is number 9. And another Basin team, Henley, rounds out the top 10. They are the 10th ranked team. And we talk about it for a second. The BCS, it was a great idea for these teams to come together. And although they won't get the official OSAA state championship, it is nice that Mazama is going to be able to play in this, I believe, for the first time in school history in what would be a state championship game.
Yeah, it is the first time in history. 1979 is the first year of Mazama High School, and it's the first time in the football program they've been able to play for a state championship. And they are considering it a state championship. The ranking system is as well. It will not have the OSAA moniker on it, but it will be a state championship. There will be a trophy. Players will get medals.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that game tomorrow, 4:30 on the NFHS network. Although this game tonight was senior night for the KU Pelicans, they are still gathered out there at midfield doing what Coach Smith calls his love, honor, and respect to each of his teammates. And, of course, the seniors that will be losing tonight for Klamath Union. Graduating on to the next step in their lives is Caden Coulter. You're also going to have Zeke Pena, Jonas Lemire, Kane Holmgren, Ivan Alvarez, Nate Getman, who had a great game tonight, Donovan De Los Reyes, Dawson Smith, Carson Endicott, and Alan Adams. 10 seniors in all for Klamath Union, and what a way to go out.
Awesome way to go out with a big W and putting up the points that they did in the fourth quarter. They rallied together. They came together knowing it was their last one, and they wanted to win together.
Absolutely. Well, that about does it for us tonight. The final score, 38-14. Appreciate you being with us for the Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week. We've been live on mybasin.com, also on air on 1150 AM, 92.9 FM, KAGO. The Les Schwab Tires Game of the Week has also been brought to you in part by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union, Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty, Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Klamath Falls, and by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. To watch an archived replay of this event, all you got to do is log on to mybasin.com and click on Watch. MyBasin.com is your home for everything going on in the Klamath Basin, from news to sports to everything else in between. Check us out online at MyBasin.com. Also, would like to extend a special thank you to the folks at Klamath Union High School here, Athletic Director Scott Mason, Coach Tom Smith down there. Would like to wish North Valley a safe trip home. Coach Neil DeForest making the trip up here, and of course their Athletic Director Tim Sam back in Merlin, allowing his team to come over and make the trip, and appreciate us for covering his program. Special thanks to those folks down there. Of course, Scotty Hoffman back at the studio. My boy Rick Reuter for running the camera. For Brian Gailey, I'm Josh Eldridge. Good night from Modoc Field.